figures to in fact start trickling in. We will also be discussing all those crucial battleground states before we deep dive into the numbers that will be coming in. And to do so, I am also joined in by CNN News 18's Arunima. Arunima, thank you for joining in.
Thank you for having me over.
Let's kickstart the discussion with a bird's eye view. What are the battleground crucial states in your view that will be interesting to look out for?
Maharashtra definitely, Rajasthan, Haryana, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh. These are the 5 states in north and west where BJP should be looking at a fight from the opposition. Down south, if you go, the opposition should be worried. You've gone to Telangana, so you know that in Telangana, it seems that the voter is enamored by the Prime Minister and by the Ram Mandir like never before. So Telangana, Bharatiya Janata Party is definitely fancying its chances. Andhra Pradesh, even though Bharatiya Janata Party directly may not be a factor, but its alliance partner, Chandrababu Naidu, is definitely a big talking point there. And it's Chandrababu Naidu versus, Jagan Mohan Reddy. Yeah. So there is a sense that I get that it's split on the gender count. So the women voter seems to be preferring Jagan, but the male voters are choosing Babu. So how is the male, I mean, all of us have been talking about women voters suddenly being the X factor. Suddenly women are a vote bank of their own. So if they are siding with one particular political party, does that mean a clear mandate for that particular party? So that's something to watch out for. Kerala, Bharatiya Janata Party hopes that they're going to do better in Kerala than last time, but that's not what the Congress and the left are.
Why do you say so?
SSA. Why the Congress and the left feel that in Kerala, Bharatiya Janata Party is yet to make its mark? Let me take the 3 seats where the BJP fancies its choice. Thiruvananthapuram, Thrissur, and also Mr. Anthony's seat, Anil Anthony's seat. Tharoor versus left is the real battle as per the opposition. They feel that the real battle there is between these two. And Rajiv Chandrasekhar is not really in the game. This is the opposition's narrative that I'm telling you. And overall they feel Kerala still, even though there is a lot of talk about the Prime Minister's image, when it comes to votes, it is not yet at the level where the Bharatiya Janata Party can cross the threshold level to gain a particular seat.
Do you think that the BJP will not be able to dent the sort of chaos we've seen in all those seats where we are seeing a tri-cornered fight like that of Wayanad, where we see Nani Raja also fighting against Rahul Gandhi and the BJP candidate as well?
See, I'm giving you the opposition's perspective again. They feel it is their narrative that they are on solid grounds in Kerala. At best, they say Bharatiya Janata Party could make its debut in Kerala. BJP, of course, is confident. BJP is confident about Mr. Gopi's chances. BJP is confident about Mr. Anthony's chances. In Wayanad, you've heard them come out and say repeatedly that, it's left versus Congress there. And if this was, what kind of an India alliance is this, where you fight against each other and then say that you're an alliance?
Vijayan has also caused much embarrassment to the alliance compared to, say, he could perhaps borrow a cue or two from Mamata Banerjee, who still has remained more stoic about her differences with the alliance.
Why is the spinner? Even D. Raja?
Yeah.
D. Raja was part of the India Front meeting short while ago. He was there, rubbing shoulders with everybody. But when you saw the way the Wayanad contest, it became personal. It became very personal. So BJP is well within its rights to say that what kind of an alliance is this? You guys are going to just disintegrate at the touch of a button once the numbers start coming out on 4th. That's the Bharatiya Janata Party's narrative. So Kerala is an interesting story, to say. To watch out whether the left versus Congress battle benefits Bharatiya Janata Party ultimately or not.
Absolutely. And let's talk about Tamil Nadu, in fact, as well, because I'm also learning that, the southern states will be the first to sort of trickle in terms of numbers. But when you look at Prime Minister and the BJP's own, or rather the NDA's push overall as far as southern states are concerned, how will Tamil Nadu in fact be that differentiating factor? A lot is being placed on Annamalai also as that main foot soldier to do that for the BJP. What's your view?
See, I have never seen Bharatiya Janata Party so aggressive when it comes to Tamil Nadu as I have seen them over the last year or so since Mr. Annamalai has taken over the helm of affairs. Secondly, the way AIADMK, Bharatiya Janata Party political divorce, if I can call it so, has happened. So BJP is now eyeing the vote bank that was once that of AIADMK to come to them. And that is why that comment by Annamalai where he said that J. Lalita was one of the staunchest Hindus, which Sasikala also countered. So that narrative, why is that narrative? To show that if you were voting for AIADMK so far, And now that the party is disintegrating between E. Pannaswamy and O. Selvam, if you're looking for an alternative, that alternative is us.
Us. And you know, interestingly, even the opposition may call the Ram Mandir issue one that is polarizing. I think Prime Minister has played it very smart. He sort of said that Ram has been a unifying figure, whether north or the south of the Vindhyas.
So who's really the sculptor of the Ram, Mandir, the main idol of Lord Ram? It is somebody who's coming from south of Vindhyas. It's not somebody who's come from north. And even the way that idol had been sculpted.
Black rock.
You see so much of impression of southern beliefs, southern architecture, southern temple, sculpting that has happened. You see the impact of that on the Ram Mandir idol that has been created of Lord Ram. How much is the impact of the Ram Mandir? Well, one of our colleagues, Siddhant, was reporting on the day the Prime Minister was doing a show from Ayodhya, and I happened to be anchoring that day, and he spoke to a lot of people. Those people had come from Karnataka after voting. Those people had come from Tamil Nadu after voting. They had come from Andhra, Telangana after voting.
Fascinating.
And they seem to be more energized.
And you know, as someone who hails from Uttar Pradesh, I can tell you that's a never seen before scene. You know?
Yeah. So I was pleasantly taken aback that when I was touring, when I would put the mic to people and talk about Ram Mandir, people from Uttar Pradesh, people from Bihar, people from northern parts, they were happy and they'd say, Ram Astha ka vishay hai. But I'm quoting a woman to summarize what I heard in the north. Ram Astha ka vishay hai. बहुत खुशी है कि राम आए हैं, लेकिन घर तो राशन से ही चलता है ना. So that was the narrative in parts of northern India, but in south there seems to be more resonance of the Ram temple, especially in Telangana, I'm told. So you've been to Telangana as well, and you can tell us. I mean, but I'm told, and my video journalist who travelled with me on the last leg of my election journey is our video journalist from Hyderabad. So I got a lot of sense about what his family is saying, what his friends are saying, and Ram Mandir is a talking point.
Exactly, my understanding was that BJP has successfully and very skillfully managed to dent the prospects of BRS. It is eating into the BRS vote share, but having said that, one cannot negate that you've already seen that the Congress is on an upswing, and Revanth Reddy is currently riding high on that popularity wave which his schemes have sort of brought in. Especially the women also are very happy with the free bus services. But will the BJP be able to sort of surpass that? Will they be able to sort of broaden their inroads in Telangana is something also that we'll have to...
Yeah, you know, I am reminded of Chhattisgarh last time around. Bhupesh Baghel came in with a clean majority in the assembly elections, and just a few months later Lok Sabha happened and there was hardly any seat where you could see the Congress's haath chap. Is Telangana also going to be another Chhattisgarh, where Revanth Reddy as the Chief Minister, as the man in charge of the assembly, has the vote of thumbs up of Telangana voters? But for the Lok Sabha, is it so?
That's what political analysts are saying, that perhaps southern states can in fact differentiate between the assembly and the Lok Sabha. We'll have to in fact see how that works out, especially to begin with in our poll itself. But then let's talk about a state, say, as far as north is concerned. You have extensively covered MP. I was very fascinated to see you over there. Tell me, what were the pockets and the crucial Lok Sabha seats that actually captured your attention?
So MP, let's begin by telling our voters that MP last time around had a clean sweep of the saffron. The only seat which survived was the Chhindwara seat, which went to Kamal Nath's son, Nakul Nath.
Right.
This time, Mohan Yadav, Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, put all his might to ensure that Nakul Nath loses and that it is saffron completely for Madhya Pradesh. But having covered Madhya Pradesh, I feel Congress might gain more than last time around. Nakul Nath, even if it is by a small majority, Kamal Nath having played the emotional card that this could well be my last election and I've done so much for Chhindwara. And it's true that Chhindwara looks like a Madhya Pradesh city different from the other cities in terms of development, in terms of road, in terms of industries there. So Kamal Nath is telling the voters that this might be my last election. Give my son another chance.
You think that sentimental value may just work in the favor of the Naths?
He's hopeful, and I can also tell you that Bunty Sahu, the challenger for Nakul Nath, he's just starting his political career. He did fight the last assembly elections and gave Kamal Nath a run for his money. But there were some resentments from within the Bharatiya Janata Party that I heard about Bunty Sahu's candidature as well. But on the other side, Mohan Yadav, JP Nadda, Home Minister Amit Shah, the top guns of the Bharatiya Janata Party fired from there. Kailash Vijayvargiya came and sat there on that seat. So they are going all out, or they have gone all out to ensure that it is snatched away. And that's why I say that if there's a fight there, the Naths are hoping that even if it is by a very narrow majority, they might pull through. Why? Because it's a majorly tribal, population in Chhindwara.
Right.
And they managed to push through this narrative about the constitution and about the reservation. That kind of died off after phase 3. But in first 2 phases, this narrative was being pushed by India Front, which I think Bharatiya Janata Party started countering. And we saw how that fake message of Home Minister Amit Shah originating from Telangana, in which Revant Reddy, the Chief Minister himself, has been made a party in the Delhi Police Special Cell, FIR. But when the elections began and Chhindwara went to vote in phase 1, there was this narrative about within the tribal voters whether reservation will be taken away. So Naths are hopeful again that could perhaps help the tribal voters galvanize themselves around the Hath Chhap. That's one, Chhindwara, right? Let's come to the other seat, which is Raghugarh, Digvijay Singh's seat. Digvijay Singh last time around had gone to challenge Sadhi Pragya Thakur in Bhopal and he lost it. Now he's decided that he wants to go back to his home turf. It's his home turf. There's an emotional connect. The Diggi Raja, as he's popularly called there. So he's fighting a good election there. Guna, Jyotiraditya Scindia, who would have thought that, Jyotiraditya Scindia would lose, but in 2019 he did lose that particular seat, and the man who defeated him was his own close aide. This time that close aide, KD Singh Yadav, has been pushed away. He's been given more party related work. He is nowhere visible in Guna. If you speak to the locals...
Also, I want to ask you, from 2019 to 2024, there's a very seasoned and a more mature Scindia that we see, which was also apparent from the interview that you did with him. He's more connected with the grassroots. I'm not sort of negating that fact that he's never been connected. He is, even as the aviation minister, he's the first one to sit up and take notice of problems when it comes to aviation. But having said that, how much now how much of a change do you see in Scindia's own performance, in his own growth and his connect with the grassroots compared to 2019?
See, in elections like Lok Sabha, in a country like India, a neta is also as good as the karyakarta. It's impossible for the neta to go...
And that's quite reflective of the BJP overall.
Exactly. So it's impossible for the neta to go attend every shadi, every mundan, every janeo, and the locals, especially in rural India, expect that.
Right.
That, if you are my neta, you came to me to seek vote, and if I am inviting you or there is a bereavement in my family, you have to come and be with me. So often it is not possible, and
that is also one of the crucial factors in the report cards that are being made for the candidates as per the high commands of BJP.
Absolutely.
That if you have no grassroots connect, you have no right to be a candidate.
So if you can't go, individually it may not be possible for you. I mean, and 8 assembly segments is what we are talking about here. It may not be possible for the minister or for the member of parliament, but is a representative going there, is a karyakarta going there and, saying that, minister couldn't come, but he sent his condolence or he sent his best wishes. That's where the RSS factor comes in. Madhya Pradesh and RSS, it's like Gujarat, it's like Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh. These are gods of RSS. If the RSS workers are there to help Mr. Scindia and to campaign for him, it's a completely different ball game compared to what he saw when he was with the Congress party.
Right.
And I did encounter voices from Guna, especially around the Ashok Nagar assembly segment, because Ashok Nagar is where his challenger is originally from. There were voices which said that, he hasn't done much for us and we're not happy with him. But I think ultimately, Mr. Scindia's stature, Maharaja as he's fondly called, the Gwalior, Mahal's connection, there's an emotional connection.
Do you think that the mother's passing may also have a sympathy factor to do?
I think by the time he lost his mother, the elections were over, but she was very unwell. Even when he was going and campaigning, and though he didn't make a mention of it, everybody in that area knew that his mother was in the ICU and it was a tough time for him.
And yet he campaigned.
So
that also speaks volumes. But having said that, do you not think that the recent assembly performance, which is very recent, could have an impact on the overall Lok Sabha result for the BJP?
Yes, I mean, I think Congress is looking at 3 to 4 seats in Madhya Pradesh, which will be a 3-fold increase from last time, because last time they had only 1 seat, and it will be in the overall scheme of things not a great loss for Bharatiya Janata Party. But boond se ghat bhare is what the Congress and the Alliance, India Alliance, is hoping for. 4 seats here, 3 seats there, and maybe overall numbers will come down for the BJP. In MP, even if they gain 3 to 4 seats, and if they are in trouble in other states that we discussed, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Haryana, some leaders are conceding that there could be trouble in Rajasthan and Haryana as well. But in down south, BJP is very hopeful. Down south, Odisha, Bengal, they are very hopeful of making up for whatever they lose, because they'll reach the saturation point in these states that I mentioned earlier in 2019.
True, and I think the BJP also wants to now outperform the most the cliched states that they have been, they've been known for in performing. But let's, since you mentioned Maharashtra, I want to in fact talk about Maharashtra, the Thackeray factor, then not to forget the Pawar versus Pawar, which we are going to see in Baramati as well. How do you think that the BJP is currently placed with its new alliance?
See, there were some voices that I encountered in Nagpur, around Nagpur, where Nitin Gadkari is an immensely popular Neta there. And Nitin Gadkari's popularity is not just in his home turf, it's pan-India. And India has changed, I can tell you that. The highways, the way connectivity has improved livelihood of people. I think every person, be it in Gaon, be it in Sheher, be it in small town, B-town, will acknowledge that road connectivity, highway connectivity has improved, and the credit for that goes to the Prime Minister, but Nitin Gadkari's name is also mentioned by the population. So when I went to his home turf, there were people who were all praised for him, but there were also voices which said, but BJP ne acha nahi kiya, in terms of breaking of the party. But who were they blaming for it? Were they blaming the Prime Minister, because this election is ultimately about who will be your Prime Minister, or were they blaming the local leadership? I think that's where the catch is. BJP is hoping that the Prime Minister's image and what he brings to the table, if he becomes the Prime Minister, BJP is hoping that that would be enough to offset any damage in Maharashtra.
That is something which brings me to Himachal, the game we are seeing play out. And in fact, from many party insiders within the BJP, I've been told that, especially in Mandi, more than Kangana Ranaut, they are banking on the charisma of the Prime Minister.
Oh, absolutely. You've been there, so you know how Himachal,
actually stunned me when...
So, some of the statements that she has given on like one speech where she said, 2014 se pehle Azadi, something on the lines that we became independent in 2014. Tejasvi Surya. Then saying that I am the queen because I've done so much in terms of Rani Lakshmibai film. So when you ask the local Himachalis, what do they say? They don't really laugh at her. They say,
in a seat like Mandi, I want to ask you, Arunima, do you think that the voter is so mesmerized by the Prime Minister and his popularity that they will, sort of still cast their vote for a Kangana and not for a Vikramaditya Singh, who has a legacy and is known to be very connected, the entire family, with the grassroots and with the common problems over there?
See, I'm basing my answer on the voices that I've heard on the ground, and they said, "Bachchi hai, galti ho jati hai, but Pradhan Mantri to unko to dena padega na." So even if they're realizing that whatever she's saying may be a little off the mark or a little over the top, they're not really looking at her. They're looking at the Prime Minister, and I think therefore in the Raja versus Rani battle, in the King versus Queen battle, the Queen, because of the Prime Minister, has an edge in Mandi.
Absolutely. Then let's talk about Odisha. We again, the big question is, will the BJP or the NDA be able to expand their base in Odisha? We are also seeing how this is playing out politically of late, with the kind of verbal attacks, also questions being raised about the Chief Minister's health, not to forget the outsider factor as far as Pandian is concerned. How do you see this now playing out? Is these attacks, will they have any impact on the performance of the current governance?
See, I think Odisha and Andhra Pradesh both will be test case to know whether one nation, one poll will work in this country and how it will work. Whether the voter makes a distinction between who they want as a chief minister and who they want as a prime minister. There is no doubt that they are very happy with the BJD, they are very happy with Naveen Patnaik. He's a role model for a lot of Odiyas. But do they want that role model to have enough number of MPs in Parliament also, or are they just happy to have him as the Chief Minister? For the Prime Minister's role, they want Prime Minister Modi. The BJP thinks that the latter is true. They think, and Amit Shah, JP Nadda have come on record to say, every time we ask this question of them, that North you have saturated, are you really hopeful that South is where you will gain? Their answer is, but why do you forget the East? Odisha and Bengal is where they are really putting their bets on. So they think in Odisha, even if BJD comes back in the assembly with a clear mandate, the Lok Sabha gains will be for the Bharatiya Janata Party. And the Pandian issue, it has a resonance on the ground. They do not enjoy the sight, these videos that have gone viral, questions about whether Mr. Pandian is controlling Mr. Patnaik, The reason why on the eve of voting he had to go visit a bookshop in Bhubaneswar because there were so many questions being raised. There were videos of his hand shivering. There was another video where Mr. Pandyan is seen pushing his chair and pushing his leg.
Right.
So BJP, I think, has picked up the right issue there. There is an emotion attached as far as Odiyas are concerned about their chief minister and whether
who takes over after
the successor factor.
Yes.
So I think that's a right issue that they're picked up. He tried to do some quote-unquote damage control by that interview to ANI by saying that I have never said Pandyan is my successor. But is the damage done as far as Lok Sabha are concerned?
We know with the numbers
Yes.
and you know, a part of me also says ab kya karna jab chidiyaan chug gayi khet. But there's a question that comes to my mind also in terms of alliances, because many political analysts have said that, you know, an alliance with the BJD in Odisha would have been as beneficial to the BJP as say one with the Shiromani Akali Dal in Punjab. How do you assess that? Do you think that this alliance would have only benefited the BJP and this has been BJP's loss more than BJD's?
Not really, but why would it not be BJD's loss as well? Because if they were in alliance, all these pot shots, all these question marks about successor, they could have avoided this embarrassment. And that last answer in Mr. Patnaik's interview was very interesting. He was asked if there is any option of post-poll alliance. He said, you never know. So, and publicly, both the Prime Minister...
Just like Mamata Banerjee,
exactly,
who's not really segregated herself.
Yeah. So, publicly, both Prime Minister and the Odisha Chief Minister have called each other friends. In the initial weeks of election campaigning, when it was not clear whether an alliance was happening or not happening, when he went to Odisha, he spoke of Naveen Babu very fondly. He did no personal attack on him. In fact, the only personal attack we heard was now, when he said that I would want an inquiry to know about his health.
Showing more of a concern.
Exactly.
Towards the
So therefore, I think even if I do not really know whether Bharatiya Janata Party will need any outside support.
In Odisha,
they do,
you do think?
No, I don't think so. Okay. Like even when in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, in the just ended Lok
what
Sabha.
What fascinated me was not just Prime Minister, but even the Home Minister, the Raksha Mantri, all of them going on record emphatically saying 10 June ko hum Odisha mein government banayenge.
Yeah, and I think they are very confident about Odisha. Like I told you, every time you ask them about saturation in North, they say, but you look at Odisha, they're very confident. BJD thinks that's more to influence the voter as far as Lok Sabha is concerned, more to play mind games as far as Lok Sabha is concerned. But for Assembly, BJD is quite confident. But the point I was making is that in the just ending Lok Sabha, every time there were a number of issues in Rajya Sabha particularly, who came to the rescue of the Bharatiya Janata Party? It was the Biju Janata Dal, it was the YSRCP, and it was the AIADMK. So even if they are not in an alliance, issue-based support on the floor of the House has always been the norm. So even if in Odisha, right now you see a lot of voices which are discordant with each other, I think Mr. Patnaik said it, that once the elections are over, it could well be a story of friendship.
It's very interesting that you talked about these relationships, which perhaps may have undergone some temporary changes, but seem to still be there for each other, which is why I want to ask you about the fascinating change of alliances that we've seen, one in Bihar and one in Karnataka. BJP, of course, banking a lot on JDU in Bihar, and of course in Karnataka, as we all, the JDS is there. We've in fact seen JDS dump Congress. The bitter irony is that perhaps BJP, after the Prajwal Revanna sex scandal, may silently be regretting it. I don't know, but at the moment they're being very guarded about the alliance. But how do you see the change in the alliances? Will this now finally benefit the NDA?
See, I think for both JDU and JDS, I wonder if the BJP leadership is now wondering whether this is a liability than an asset. JDS definitely. Because the party, what is it bringing to the table? There were hopes that in terms of caste equations, JDS is going to help the NDA, but the Prajwal Revanna case, even though Mandya voted before this entire video started going viral, but the rest of the region, not just in Karnataka, in the rest of the neighboring area also, what is the kind of impact that the videos, the viral videos and the cases that
it has sort of only bolstered Congress's own assembly victory.
Yes. And in Karnataka, to quote Harish, our colleague, he says that, it seems that Bharatiya Janata Party has to fight against its own members. I mean, there are a lot of BJP independents or cadre members or former legislators or MPs
who are, as example.
Not just one, there are multiple
yeah.
who are trying to cut their own party's progress there. So is it BJP versus BJP in Karnataka there, and JDS becomes a fringe factor there. Talking about Bihar, there's no doubt that Nitish Kumar is on a downslide. He was the Sushasan Babu. He was the bigger partner, even though his party was smaller. In Bihar, he was seen as the elder brother, as the bigger partner, because Bharatiya Janata Party hasn't really had a Bihar leader. Sushil Modi, but Sushil Modi was the deputy chief minister to Nitish Kumar, and their bonhomie and their equations was well known. So Nitish was always seen as the senior partner. Now suddenly it appears that Prime Minister Modi and therefore the Bharatiya Janata Party is the senior partner in Bihar. That's one. Two, Amit Shah, Samrat Chaudhary and others of the BJP also had one point castigated Nitish Kumar for the way he dumped them and went and joined hands with the RJD. Both of them had said that, it's very difficult to accept Nitish Kumar back. But I think they realized that their best bet in this election, when Tejasvi Yadav is really flexing his muscles, the kind of voter turnout or the kind of turnout that you're seeing in his rallies, huge number of people turning up at his rallies. So therefore the calculation perhaps that Nitish Kumar must be brought to the NDA fold. He's back in their fold. He's assured the Prime Minister that I'm never going to leave you and go back. But there are a lot of speculations about his health also. His health is not really spoken about in national media. But in the Bihar local media, amongst normal Biharis,
especially when compared to a Tejasvi Yadav, who's seen as a young and bright sort of rising politician, rising star of sorts for the RJD. Having said that, do you think that the polarizing rhetoric that was sort of woven around the RJD and the entire alliance with the Congress party could sort of have an impact on their overall performance? We've seen, in fact, Prime Minister launch those kind of attacks with regards to the mutton and meat, and in fact even Priyanka Gandhi trying to defend it, saying कि इन्होंने तो ये पूरा election meat और mutton का बना.
No, the last one where he says mujra कर रहे हैं आप. So that comment also came at Patliputra election venue where Misa Bharti is the candidate. Right. So yes, the Prime Minister has made no bones about the fact, and Lalu Prasad Yadav has been attacked personally.
If you look at Misa Bharti also, it seems like that Ram Kripal Yadav is in an invincible position, going by his own past record. Whatever you read from ground reports, they're saying that Misa Bharti or Rohini Acharya, they're not really known to have formed that connect. As far as Saran is concerned, Rohini Acharya was also accused of not being present there mostly, especially Misa Bharti as well. And they said that the Yadavs only turned up while campaigning during the last couple of days, and they were missing from action. That includes Rabri and Lalu as well.
Yes, so the charge, and Ram Kirpal said this in our interview also, that these people stay in Delhi and they come to Bihar only to ask votes. So they are like the royalty who are never available there.
But that's not the case for Ram Kripal. They said that he's been very accessible and very connected.
But the charge against Ram Kirpal is that you have been chosen from Patliputra twice on the BJP ticket, 3 times before that on an RJD ticket. What has changed for Patliputra? Yes, there are in terms of highways, like I told you, the entire country is changing, and so the Patliputra path is there. It gives you better connectivity. But if you move into, and Patliputra is a very rural constituency. I met a group of women in one of the villages there. One 20-year-old, she has 2 kids, and she was crying, saying that these people here, the male members, embarrass me, they taunt me because I don't have a toilet. So in the morning or in the evening when I have to go out, where do I go? Because everywhere now there are concrete structures. Earlier there were fields, but now there are concrete structures, so I have nowhere to go. So she's crying for something as basic that the Prime Minister has promised, but it has not been delivered to her doorstep, which is a toilet. Second, there were women there who said that yes, we got the Ujjwala Yojana scheme and we got the gas cylinder, but subsequently we could not afford a refill because it became so expensive. So as a member of parliament, and they're not questioning the Prime Minister for these non-deliveries.
Because they know that there's been so much chaos in terms of the alliances and the breaking of those governments.
That's what I found fascinating, that when they say कि महंगाई है, when they say कि मेरा gas cylinder fill नहीं होता, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना में मुझे घर नहीं मिला है, but they're not blaming the Prime Minister for it. They're saying, why has my local MP not done anything?
Which is why I'd like to draw comparisons between, say, a UP's double-engine model versus a Bihar, because Bihar, for the longest time, has not seen a stable government. And now maybe for Modi 3.0, if that happens, we'll have to see how, in fact, Bihar.
But then Nitish and BJP were in an alliance as well. So these
Right,
voters would
right.
then question, and
Then
therefore,
so much of a back and
yeah.
forth.
So
with
so
that.
that's why the Sushasan Babu image is also now being questioned, and I feel in Bihar, it's JDU which has much to lose.
True. And what about Patna Sahib? Let's talk about Ravi Shankar Prasad and a former colleague, Anshul Avijit, who's now fighting from Congress for that.
So Anshul Avijit now calls himself Anshul Avijit Kushwaha.
Kushwaha.
Yeah, we've always known him as Anshul Avijit, but now
Yes.
the Kushwaha surname is back, and I think there's a reason for that, because the India Alliance realizes that the Kushwaha vote bank was once supportive of Nitish Kumar. They were with him, but now the Yadav and the Kushwaha voters coming together could make a bigger chunk of voters, caste-based voters come in favor of the India Alliance. Anshul Avijit making his debut has Meera Kumar and Jagjeevan Ram's legacy with him. But I think Ravi Shankar Prasad is absolutely 100% sure about his victory. He said, जब मैंने शत्रुघ्न सिन्हा को 2 लाख वोट से हरा दिया, शत्रुघ्न सिन्हा was a sitting incumbent MP. His खामोश, whether he worked or he didn't work, his खामोश image, his image as a Bihari Babu who got Bihar a place of pride in Bollywood and made people see Bihar with a lot of fondness. He defeated Shatrughan Sinha, and Ravi Shankar Prasad quotes that very often. And he also says that this is not a panchayat ka chunav. This is not a chunav for Mukhiya's election. This is a chunav for Pradhan Mantri ka election, and therefore you should rise above caste factors and vote for me. He's pretty confident that this is a one-way election in Patna Sahib.
I think so too over there with you. Agree, even though I have a former colleague and a friend fighting against him. But as we speak, Arunima, I'm also going through all those comments that are coming in, and since we are talking on a day which is marking the exit polls as well, there's a lot of talk about whether it's going to be 400 par or not. The BJP plus NDA is, some have in fact touted it to 428, some are even talking about it going below a 250, 260. What is your assessment of it? Having said that, yes, the big disclaimer that should go out there is that we are no pundits. We are just sharing our views, and the numbers of the exit polls will start trickling in as we speak. But yes,
So 400 par. So I would quote the Prime Minister. Prime Minister in his interview, he was asked this question that you said 400 par. What he did was his reply. He said, the entire narrative of the opposition changed from trying to win this election to trying to stop BJP from getting across 400.
देखो 2014 में तो उन्होंने 15 लाख अकाउंट में डालने की भी बात की थी, तो वो तो आए नहीं.
So Prime Minister says that 400 par was just a mind game. Now, obviously, his critics would say that he's now recalibrating his position, because after the first 2 phases of elections, BJP realized that was not happening, and hence the recalibration. Realistically speaking, all of our newsroom, all of our colleagues have been hedging their bets. I don't see anybody saying BJP is going 400 par. If any exit poll actually comes out and says Bharatiya Janata Party is gaining more than 400, I mean, that will be...
In all the conversations that you've had, what is the sense that you're getting from the other BJP sources, perhaps the union ministers themselves? Any idea? Reports were indicating that the Home Minister has also touted it around 300.
I think they're all confident of doing better than 2019. That is goes without saying. And 2019 was better than 2014. So if this, in the third term, you not just manage to beat anti-incumbency, but you better your numbers than the previous 2 terms.
And that's exactly what I was coming to, that when you look at 2014 in retrospect, it was anti-incumbency.
Yes.
2019 was the nationalist fervor post Balakot. Now 2024 is all going to be about the victory margins of sorts, don't you think so?
Yeah.
For their own performances, for a Prime Minister in Varanasi, say for the Home Minister in Gandhinagar, how do you view that?
See, the 2 seats that you mentioned, I think they're one-way contest completely, and I would add another one to that, which is Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Vidisha.
Right.
I think these would be the record-breaking numbers you would see, because there's hardly any contest there, and people are more or less happy with what, even as a member of parliament, these people have done for their constituency, and how they have performed as union ministers as well. So for Varanasi, for Gandhinagar, even for Vidisha, I can see record-breaking numbers coming out. But let's talk about what would it mean if in 2024 the overall numbers for the Bharatiya Janata Party is better than 2014 and 2019. It would mean that the opposition has nothing to offer in terms of an alternative. It would mean that this election is purely about Prime Minister Modi, because Bharatiya Janata Party has made this a presidential form of election. This is not about anybody else for BJP. It is about the Prime Minister. If that kind of number comes in, then the BJP would say that we were right.
And if you look at the direct fights with Congress, 170 out of 186 were won by the BJP in 2019 itself. So it's very, very right that you say that it's about bettering your performance, outdoing yourself in 2019. But do you think that that they'll be able to, in fact, sort of cross the 50% vote share?
We'll have to wait and see how they figure in UP. How they factor in, because these are the big states, big numbers that we're talking about, UP, Maharashtra, Bihar, how they really perform in these three states, because these are the states where there is a sense from the ground that it could get tight, it could get challenging for the Bharatiya Janata Party. So if between these three states they manage to capture the imagination of the voter, then who knows?
I'm repeatedly getting questions about BJP making inroads in South other than Tamil Nadu and say Kerala. Where do you in fact see the BJP outdoing
I would say Andhra Pradesh and Telangana is where Bharatiya Janata Party has maximum chance of gaining seats. Andhra Pradesh, not just because of its own presence, but because of Pawan Kalyan and Chandrababu Naidu. How is the alliance going to bring in seats for the NDA? That we'll have to wait and see for Andhra Pradesh.
Do you think corruption has in fact been a factor in this election? Do you think it is going to impact the voter, especially the silent voter who plays a very crucial role? Because that's what they say, ki suno sabki par karo apni.
Not as much as it was in 2014. 2014 elections were in the backdrop of 2G scam, 1.76 lakh crore, that headline that went in newspapers, Commonwealth Games scam. So corruption was a talking point, a buzzing issue back then.
Which hasn't been the case. Yeah.
Except for Delhi.
Except for Delhi.
Yeah.
No, I mean for the current national politics.
Yeah. So except for Delhi, that all across I've travelled from north to west to centre to east. The only place where I found corruption to be a talking point was Delhi, because of Arvind Kejriwal, because of the allegations that have been made against the Aam Aadmi Party in the excise policy scam. And how was the Aam Aadmi Party really countering this? Many of our viewers might be aware of it if they are from Delhi. What was the Aam Aadmi Party's campaign strategy? 2-3 campaigns that I attended at Nukkars and Chaurahas, they would set up a dais with two structures, temporary structures. One they would call a washing machine, the second they would call a jail, and then from within the crowd they would pick up somebody, put a banner across his chest saying this is XYZ. Some neta who has, I'm not taking names, but they were taking names of people who were earlier with the opposition or with the Congress or with the NCP. Now they've joined the Bharatiya Janata Party. So they would actually enact nukkar nataks where these actors who were pretending to be netas would be taken inside the washing machine, and when they came out they would be wearing saffron t-shirts and all fine. And then Aam Aadmi Party would show a Sanjay Singh or a Manish Sisodia to say that no, we don't want to get into the washing machine, we'll go to the jail. So that this kind of storytelling Aam Aadmi Party is very adept at. Nukkar natak, trying to hit the street. They were trying to send this message that we are not corrupt. Just because we are refusing to join the BJP washing machine, we are being put into jail. Does it work? We'll know on 4th.
We'll know on 4th. But having said that, with the CM who is behind bars at the moment, also facing attacks from the opposition BJP, that how can a chief minister in fact operate from behind bars? Do you think, from whatever sense you're getting from the Aam Aadmi in Delhi, what does Delhi ki Janata have to say? Are they really impacted by the corruption charges levied against him? Do they think that, it's any kind of commentary on the Aam Aadmi Party which sort of was based on that foundation of fighting corruption? Does that really impact the regular voter who seems to have perhaps, also already, gained a lot from the freebies that they've been offered?
See, it all depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to somebody in Lajpat Nagar, in Karol Bagh, in Sarojini Nagar, Southex, in the market, they would say, नहीं, इन्होंने तो गलत किया है, ईडी ऐसे थोड़ी पकड़ लेगी, चोरी की है इसलिए भेजा गया है. The moment you step out from the market and you go to a Juggi Jhopri cluster, or you go to a relatively less economically upward section of that same constituency, the narrative completely changes.
The argument I am giving is that आपको नहीं पता DMC में कितना, मतलब as far as the municipal corporations are concerned, that when the BJP has been in power. It's not like the municipal corporations have not really operated at any different pace, and that bribes have always been a reality, which has not been the case when Aam Aadmi Party was in power, is the argument that we've also been given. You know, you talk to in fact the lower middle income group and they say that हम शिकायत दर्ज करते हैं वो सुन ली जाती है, हमारी बिजली का खर्चा कम हो गया है, हमारा पानी. But going by the current crisis that the national capital is facing, especially in terms of electricity and water scarcity, the biggest charge is that what kind of a party of sham is this? Because you know that these were the promises that you came on, and now you are in fact not even able to provide water, let alone electricity. Not to forget all those fines that are being imposed for using too much water as far as Atishi is concerned.
Thankfully for the Aam Aadmi Party, the water crisis came just after Delhi voted.
Yeah.
Imagine if this had come a few days earlier. Perhaps the swing voter would have changed his mind, because you have to give it for Delhi. Free bijli and free pani and free bus rides are big issues. Wherever you go, whatever section of voters you are speaking to, they would say that this is one area where some good work has happened. But suddenly, what has happened to that good work? Suddenly there's a water crisis. Electricity is a crisis as well, because I'm a South Delhi resident, so I do know that there is an electricity crisis brewing there. There is a water crisis brewing there. What I'm also interested in knowing is, how has the Swati Maliwal episode affected the mind of the voter? It happened very close to the polling date, so I didn't really get so much time to go around and meet people across constituencies. But whatever I could gauge from the Delhi voters, speaking to them on phone and generally chit-chatting with them, I think that episode did have an influence.
And I would agree with you, Arunima, considering women voters have played a very crucial role in the rise of Modi himself. So those who perhaps did not believe in the Prime Minister and voted for an Aam Aadmi Party, making it a national level party now, I think that factor may perhaps work in the favor of BJP, especially when it comes to women voters.
And Swati Maliwal is not just any other neta. She's the one who, on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party, stood up for the women of Delhi. She was there when our wrestlers were at Jantar Mantar. She was there when Manipur issue was happening. She went there. So she's always shown herself as that side of Aam Aadmi Party which stands up for women. And here is that same person now alleging that her own chief minister did not stand up for her. The allegation is not just against Bibhav Kumar. The allegation is that I was beaten up at the chief minister's residence. And that is what the Bharatiya Janata Party is underlining. So it will be interesting to note for me if Swati Maliwal episode also had an impact on the mind of the
voters. And when you talk about all these protests that Delhi has witnessed in the last sort of couple of years, particularly when you look at the wrestlers' protest, when you look at the farmers' protest, do you think this will sort of have an impact with the issue of MSP? And we've seen these pockets, especially in North, when it comes to Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Bihar, Rajasthan, Haryana, all of these farmers come out in full force, which happen to be a massive vote bank. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan is all it used to be about. Do you think that will sort of have an impact on India's performance?
See, interesting that you mentioned Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, because as the Kisan, especially from Punjab and Haryana, hit the street, the Jawan, the Agniveer issue is also a talking point. And Rahul Gandhi has spoken about it. He has been accused by the ruling side of making Jawans an issue of politics which should not have happened. But Agniveer is a talking point amongst youngsters of this country. They feel that the paramilitary jobs, the army jobs were a source of employment for them, which has been taken away. 4 years is all that we get if we join an Agniveer. We don't get any pension. There's a risk to our lives. These are conversations that have happened, not just in Punjab, Haryana. These are conversations I've had with people in Ranchi as well. But will that change the mind of these youngsters away from the Bharatiya Janata Party? Because in the same breath, they also say कि हम चाहते हैं कि अग्निवीर हटा दिया जाए, हम चाहते हैं कि हमें सरकारी नौकरियां और मिले, हम चाहते हैं कि job security ho.
All right.
But
so as we speak, in fact, Arunima, the big development right now for all our viewers who are tuning in right now on our YouTube link and the Facebook link as well, these numbers have started trickling in. How do you, in fact, look at the numbers? Let's start with Karnataka. In fact, as we were talking about, the southern states would be coming in first. As you can see, 23 to 26 is being predicted with a 60% vote share for Karnataka NDA. Now, Congress 3 to 7, that is That's in fact a massive jolt to the Congress party. Now look again. This is where our discussion kicks in about that differentiating factor between the state versus national level. What do you make of the numbers here in Karnataka?
I think if these numbers hold, the discussion is over. The Bharatiya Janata Party, if these numbers hold, they would say that this is clear indication that we are doing much better, way better than 2019. Because in Karnataka, like we were discussing, it is being said that this is one state.
Despite the scandal.
This is one state where we're all saying that it is BJP versus BJP. The sex scandal has impacted the Bharatiya Janata Party. Congress is doing better in terms of organization. DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah are better. So if this number
where
holds,
are they lacking? Do you not think that there was so much talk about Congress guarantees and Siddaramaiah in fact going all guns blazing about how much we are doing for the poor, how much we are doing for the Muslims? Do you think that the whole quota issue has also sort of played in favor of the NDA, because we've seen the Congress and the entire alliance go on a back foot?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if this number holds, if this is the number that we get on the 4th of June as well, then it's a clear indication that whatever the Congress party and the alliance partners have been telling us about there being a resonance, and this is also perhaps a report card on the way Karnataka government is performing at the moment. In 2023, there were charges of corruption made against the Mumbai government, and that's when Siddaramaiah came back as a chief minister. This time around, if BJP manages to gain 60% plus vote share, 23 to 26 seats,
it'll be a repeat of 2019.
It's game over for Congress.
Absolutely. Let's come to Kerala quickly. NDA 1, 2, 3. I think even if it is 16% vote share for the NDA compared to say an LDF which is looking at 2 to 5, UDF of course still 15 to 18. That of course goes on to say that BJP is in fact at the cusp of making an
but Kerala, I would say if it is 1 to 3, one seat, I told you they are hoping that between Thrissur and Pathanamthitta, they are hoping to gain these two. The third seat, I think the expectation is from Thiruvananthapuram as well. So let's wait and see. But Kerala, I think more or less.
I think what is very interesting is to see what a close sort of battle it is between the LDF and NDA in Kerala, because remember, for the longest time the LDF was way ahead.
Yeah. And this number would make the Congress happy.
Of course.
This number would make them happy.
I'm wondering if that also includes Wayanad.
Interesting question. And if that includes Wayanad, what happens to Raebareli?
Exactly. What happens to Raebareli? What do you think about Raebareli, Arunima? Because there was a lot of flip-flop and a lot of back and forth for the longest time. Say, Pallavi was also talking about how on the day of the filing of the nomination is when they themselves are all enlightened about Rahul Gandhi not fighting from Amethi but Raebareli.
Yeah, it is very evident that the Gandhi Parivar were unsure of whether the siblings should fight from UP at all. But it was the Karyakartas who prevailed upon them. They would have ideally wanted both Amethi and Raebareli to be contested by the Gandhi siblings. And the Karyakartas were very clear that if this did not happen, if they vacated both Amethi and Raebareli, it would have a cascading effect on entire Uttar Pradesh.
In fact, and Aniraja even attacked that decision to fight from Raebareli, saying that you've in fact betrayed the trust of the people of Wayanad. We'll have to see if that impacts Wayanad or not. But let's come to Tamil Nadu. In fact, if you look at as far as
here,
NDA is concerned, yes, 1, 2, 3 with a 20% vote share, not bad.
Yeah, 1 to 3 is I mean something that they'll be happy with.
They'll be happy with,
because even as recently as this trip of the Prime Minister, when he went for meditation, there were posters put up against him. And there's always been a social media backlash against him. Then that's his people opposing him have showcased to say that BJP has no resonance on ground.
No resonance,
so this
and
number,
with a zero.
Yeah.
With a zero, opening your account
is
to say
definitely
1
a plus.
to 3, I think is definitely a plus. If we look at India, now it's coming to 49, the AIADMK 17, of course others 14. We'll have to see if there's any, of course you can, the disclaimer is you can always add or subtract 5 over there, but this is the number that we are bringing to you as far as NDA is concerned. The big news is that the BJP or the NDA is all set to open its account. Do you credit only Prime Minister Modi or Annamalai?
I think I will have to credit Annamalai. Again, if these numbers hold, Annamalai has played a huge role
the tough cop, finally.
in resurrecting the Bharatiya Janata Party in Tamil Nadu. It was always said, and we were just pointing out, every time you spoke about the BJP, every time you spoke about the Prime Minister, you only saw negative posts on social media. You only got references to these negative posters that would be put up when Prime Minister visited Tamil Nadu. So from there, if Annamalai can rejuvenate the BJP worker to come out and literally out of the hat pull out 3 seats, it will be at the cost of the AIADMK. The numbers for AIADMK are not looking good at all. So of course, if these numbers hold, it's very clear that Bharatiya Janata Party in Tamil Nadu is showing itself as the relevant opposition, if not in the ruling position, exactly how it figured in West Bengal, where the Congress and the left no longer exist. It's TMC versus BJP.
In fact, as we speak today, only Prime Minister has also ended his 45-hour long tapasya in Kanyakumari. And C.R. Kesavan, in fact, put it very beautifully. He said that when a Prime Minister chooses to meditate at the Vivekananda Memorial in Kanyakumari, the southernmost tip of the mainland, that is also Prime Minister showing his own spiritual connect with not just that part of the country, but the entire state, how he's chosen it. So I think not just the state unit of BJP, but the overall southern push of the BJP, whether it is Prime Minister or an Amit Shah making all those frequent visits. As we were earlier discussing, there has been no discrimination left now for them between north or the south of the region.
Oh, it's very clear. The Bharatiya Janata Party no longer wants to be seen. It was called a North Indian party. It was seen as a party of the Baniyas. It has gone beyond all those nomenclatures. It is now a pan-India party from the north to the south to the east to the west. It has organizational strengths in all parts of the country. And now it is time for the BJP to try and attempt to turn that organizational strength into seats, into wins in Lok Sabha, and these numbers that we're seeing
but
from
you know what is
Karnataka,
in
from
fact
Tamil Nadu.
fascinating me right now is that India is showing 52 to 57 seats and NDA is showing 23 to 28, others 3 to 7.
But this is only for southern India,
course,
right?
So
for southern India, I think it's expected.
Puducherry, we are seeing that the Congress
is getting one,
yes, which of course is a shot in the arm for them. But not to forget that the overall tally right now, India is
no, but I think they'll be very happy to see that number 23 to 28. You know, they have
coming in from the southern states.
I think they have 29 at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. I am still waiting to see if the Andhra and the Telangana numbers are out
I'll
as
just
yet.
refresh the
Yes,
pages.
if Andhra and Telangana numbers are out as well, because they are around 29. Yes, they are. So what is Andhra Pradesh number looking like?
So if you look at the Andhra numbers, NDA 19 to 22, which is as you were predicting, Arunima, this again is one state which, as was predicted, has been good news for the NDA. Certainly, YSRCP
5 to 8. If YSRCP is at 5 to 8, I mean, then
what do you think has spelled this sort of downfall for the YSRCP?
So, like I said, you know, I am then very carefully looking at the voters' mind. Are they making a distinction between Assembly and Lok Sabha to this extent that they are going and voting in that same booth?
And that's turning out to be a very fascinating pattern, particularly in this Lok Sabha.
Which just means that our voters are not how we had assumed them to be, that they would be emotional when they go to vote. They are thinking strategically. They are thinking who's good for their state, who's good for their country. And perhaps taking a different position. So we'll have to wait and see if this number holds for YSRCP in Andhra Pradesh. 5 to 8 with 35% vote share. Does this then translate equally into the numbers for Assembly? And that's a very interesting number, 19 to 22 for the NDA.
And a massive downfall compared to 2019 for the YSRCP. NDA, of course, smiling year to year, perhaps going by the figures in this exit poll. We've, of course, discussed Karnataka, we've discussed Kerala, but let's talk about student reservation also as an issue, which seems to have, you know, Rohit Vemula's case grabbed headlines, not just nationally, but particularly in Andhra. And of course, we've seen Telangana also respond to that issue. It sort of returned to haunt back the BJP and the Congress also. But do you think that that is also going to be a factor, especially taken into account by the first-time voters? Because in Telangana, when I was there, I remember speaking to a lot of student presidents of various unions, and they said that reservation, in fact, is an issue that resonates for us. And how can, in fact, Prime Minister not acknowledge the need for Dalits, and in fact the Congress continuously kept attacking them that you should not be against a caste survey because that is what will give you an idea, even if you want it to be class based, that perhaps a Savarn also may need that reservation.
So while we talk on that, should we check if the Telangana numbers are also here? Because one thing, like you mentioned, caste and what the youth is thinking, this I found that the Dalit voters across the country, wherever I travelled, are looking for a party of their own. So if you speak about North India, the Bahujan Samaj Party,
the Telangana numbers are also here, 7 to 10 for the Bharatiya Janata Party. As you can see, 37% vote share so far, the highest is with BJP. The Congress, of course, getting 34%, which is again such a surprise, Arunima. 5 to 8. This after Revanth Reddy and his hectic campaigning doesn't seem to have really worked effect when it comes to BJP's own performance. The BRS, as you can see.
Yes, BJP seems to be gaining at the cost of BRS more.
2 to 5 left. In fact, only with 2 to 5, 21% vote share. So I remember, in fact, speaking to KTR, and KTR, in fact, seemed very disillusioned, and I secretly believe that I won't be surprised if the BRS, in fact, sort of tries to make peace with the BJP. I know as we speak, we have a K. Kavita also fighting her own case, but because in his interview he kept attacking the Congress party.
No, but you know, the recent snooping gate which has been revealed, what is the revelation from there? That to force the Bharatiya Janata Party to come to a negotiating table, to not arrest K. Kavita, this entire snooping drama was enacted. That's the charge. We don't know whether that charge will ultimately hold in the court of law, but that's the charge being made by a senior police officer, that the entire snooping scandal started because of that. BRS, again, if you look at the
they still have a command, by the way, on the local cadres. If you see a KTR right now campaigning with his sister now behind bars, the fact is that the number of people who are turning up to attend his rallies, it's fascinating to see that despite all the corruption charges, the BRS is in fact still maintained to have that kind of command, with reports also indicating that KCR has not really been doing very well in terms of health. It seems that, I mean, I'm a little pleasantly surprised that BRS has still managed 21% of vote share. Perhaps it's a legacy vote that is going to them. But having said that, BJP, of course, riding high with 37%. As you rightly mentioned, they are perhaps denting BRS's own prospects.
And this looks like Chhattisgarh, run over again. Like I told you, Bhupesh Baghel winning the assembly, but then losing Lok Sabha. And what is the charge that Home Minister Amit Shah made against Bhupesh Baghel then? That he turned Chhattisgarh into an ATM for the Congress High Command, and that's why he was given the thumbs down by the voters when Lok Sabha election happened. Is a similar charge being made against Revanth Reddy also, that after coming to power in the assembly there, instead of working for the people of his states, he's trying to exploit the resources of the state. So BJP would definitely go all guns blazing against Revanth Reddy if these numbers hold. At this stage, the Bharatiya Janata Party seems to be the biggest gainer in Telangana, between 7 to 10 seats, 37% vote share, and the overall numbers also from southern India seems very encouraging.
Quite heartwarming, in fact, because we've been discussing about how there's been a conscious southern push by the BJP, and of course can't say that they couldn't have done it without connecting locally with the people. You know, there's a conscious effort when they are making, when they've now started bringing these local level leaders. That of course holds true for an Annamalai. You speak to a Visheshwar Reddy over there in Telangana, you're seeing these leaders, they could come from bureaucratic background, they could come from political backgrounds, they could come from business backgrounds as well, but they have a connect. They have a connect at a local level, and I think that's the formula that the BJP has been able to crack, especially in South, that you need to have a candidate who has a local grassroots.
Yeah, but Akasha, I also see this, in a different way. Bharatiya Janata Party, unlike the Congress or unlike the India Alliance, banks a lot on Prime Minister. So yes, an Annamalai has a space of his own, but ultimately this election is about Prime Minister Modi, and that is the message. I just told you about Ravi Shankar Prasad. What is he telling his voters? Ye chunav Pradhan Mantri ka hai, Mukhya ka nahi hai. Similar messaging has been done for all the seats, all the constituencies. When that question was raised by Arvind Kejriwal, whether Prime Minister will retire when he hits 75 years of age. Everybody came out, be it Home Minister Amit Shah, be it Himanta Biswa Sarma, JP Nadda, they all came out and negated it right there, tried to nip it in the bud so that this message does not go to the voter that Prime Minister is here only for a year and a half, and tomorrow somebody else will take over, because they realize Prime Minister is their Sachin Tendulkar. He is the best batsman they have, and the entire galvanization of the country, of the support system for the BJP is because of the Prime Minister.
And we saw that happen as he sort of embarked on that whirlwind tour of the entire country. There's no part of the country that has been not touched upon by the Prime Minister and his rallies. In fact, he's made all those efforts to consciously not just woo but also make that connect during his rallies, and he's in his interviews made it amply clear by saying that ये रातों रात का काम नहीं है. मैं इलेक्शन कैंपेनिंग के भी बहुत पहले से you are aware of the fact how on weekends we'd in fact be covering his rallies much before election.
No, so that's a difference that I see in the way elections have been conducted, and the fight by the Bharatiya Janata Party and the fight by the India Alliance. The India Alliance has tried to make this election hyper-local. Local issues, local netas, regional parties talk as local as possible. Whereas the Bharatiya Janata Party wants this elections to be about Prime Minister, about 370 in Kashmir, about Ayodhya Ram Mandir, about Vishwa Guru image. So global versus local is one clear difference in the way the two alliances, NDA and the India Front, are channelizing their energies into this election.
All right, so overall, as far as NDA tally is concerned, yes, you see it going up. I think after Telangana's numbers coming in, 51 to 54, it is for the NDA, and India left at 64 to 67. So we see margin of roughly.
But is this still only south?
It's mostly south only, yes.
Yes,
and in fact, the first hour, as I'm being told, is going to be only about southern states. So NDA, I think the results as far as southern states are concerned, it's looking very good. Very encouraging.
So overall numbers might be more for India Front, but then in southern India, the India Front, which also has DMK, so an MK Stalin, who's the unchallenged king in Tamil Nadu for some time now, his numbers are also going into this.
And today, mind you, he's even missing from the India bloc.
So when we're talking about India Front, these are southern parties, and there are strong southern parties there who have managed to create their own support base. So 64 to 67, it shows a lead by the India Front in the southern part of the country. 51 to 54 for NDA, but I think NDA would be happy with those numbers.
To an extent, do you think that Prime Minister Modi and of course all his foot soldiers, do you think they've been finally able to drive home the point of a double engine ki sarkar? We've seen the models work out the way they have in Uttar Pradesh, in Gujarat. I think Uttar Pradesh is the best example of that model of double engine ki sarkar. Do you think that the voter now is also willing to give that a chance?
Double engine ki sarkar for southern India, I think didn't work because the way Karnataka, Bombay government was voted out, and then post that the Bharatiya Janata Party was not there in power in any assembly there. They're not there in Tamil Nadu, they're not there in Kerala, they're not there in Andhra, they're not there in Telangana. But this sense that if you want governance, and you can tell me more, but I think the Ram Mandir issue perhaps had more resonance down south than in northern part of the country. It had more resonance, like I told you, the voices that we heard from Ayodhya of people who had come from Karnataka, who had Telangana, they seem to be enamored by the Ram Mandir more. Plus, is there also an issue about the regional parties, because they're regional parties, because each regional party, be it Pinarayi Vijayan, be it Siddaramaiah, they've all been coming and saying that the centre is denying us money, and therefore we are unable to develop, and the matter reached Supreme Court as well. So is there a realization that for development, rather than get into this tutu meme, get somebody who can then coordinate with the centre and help you get your rightful share?
And going by the numbers down south, how do you see the minority factor playing out? Do you really think that the Muslim factor or the OBC and the Dalit factor has in fact also worked in the favor of NDA, and has Prime Minister and overall the BJP been able to twist around that narrative of BJP being an anti-minority party when it has brought into focus issues of, say, the reservation primarily?
Let me just turn that question around for you. How do you think Madhvi Lata is doing in Hyderabad? You know, if you talk about the minority vote down south, Asaduddin Owaisi has emerged as this leader of the minorities, not just in southern part.
To be
yes, not just in southern part. I have heard resonance about AIMIM in UP also, pockets of UP, pockets of Bihar. Last time AIMIM did very well in Kishanganj and other areas of Bihar. So he has emerged as this alternative for the minorities who were moving away from the Congress last time around. This time,
so are you saying that there is a lack of alternative for the minorities, especially Muslims?
See, the Muslims have traditionally reposed their faith either in the Congress or in regional parties like the Samajwadi Party or the RJD.
Right. But how many of those do you see? A Samajwadi Party largely limited to Uttar Pradesh, and AIMIM, as you've said, is trying to expand.
Yes, it's making a dent
as well.
It's making a dent. So then, I mean, and AIMIM's kind of politics is different from a Samajwadi Party kind of a politics. A Samajwadi Party and an RJD would try and forge an MY alliance where you want a Muslim and a Yadav combination to come together. AIMIM's politics is purely, I am standing for my Muslim vote bank. So their politics is very different. So if you can help us understand how Owaisi is featuring, maybe that will give you an understanding of how the minorities are now thinking.
Madhvi Lata has in fact done a lot of work for Pasmanda Muslim women as well, but I think that has somewhere been overshadowed by the political rhetoric which was extremely polarized and saffronized. I mean, all those videos of her pulling that bow and arrow to apparently or allegedly in the direction of a mosque has sort of backfired. Then that video on the day of polling where she's been seen questioning Muslim voters, I don't know how that's going to play out, but also the legacy factor for the Owaisi family. I mean, when I spoke to all the common people there, especially in Charminar area, which is, of course, as we all know, quite the ghetto for all the Hyderabadi Muslims, they said that, you know, we cannot think of voting for anybody else but the Owaisis, and in fact, they rightly say so, because you see the kind of work the Owaisis have done over there. They've constructed hospitals. They're also doing a lot for the poor man, where I do think that Owaisis need to also acknowledge the role of women voters, and for Owaisi, who himself is such an educated man, should perhaps also look into female education, which I saw is a struggling factor for the women in Telangana, particularly Hyderabad. Those factors, of course.
No, and that's an important point that you're making. When you talk about minorities as a vote bank, there is a sub-vote bank now. That is of the Muslim women. The Muslim women, the BJP.
Which is why I think Madhvi played it very smart over there by targeting Pasmanda Muslim women.
So BJP is convinced that after the Triple Talaq legislation was brought in, they got the support of the Muslim women in the last election. This time around also, when the Uniform Civil Code the draft bill was brought in Uttarakhand, some women, of course, said that, you know, this is an attack on our faith, but then largely there were a lot of Muslim women who did say that if bigamy and polygamy is being outlawed, the only person who will benefit is me, because then I know that my husband cannot just abandon me and stop giving me a maintenance.
All right, and as we speak, Arunima, some good news for all our viewers, because now we can see the exit poll is finally moving towards the north from south, and I'm not calling it good news because we in fact touched upon all the primary southern states. You can see the results for Uttar Pradesh. Let's begin with India, just 3 to 6. NDA getting seats 22 to 25. Interestingly, BSP has in fact been reduced to 0. I'm wondering if this 3 to 6 seat tally for India, is it even coming from the Congress party or Samajwadi?
So we'll have to see whether in that 3 to 6 the Raebareli seat is there or not, whether Amethi seat is there or not. The ground reports seem to suggest that both Amethi and Raebareli were very tight fights. 22 to 25, so I think the numbers are still
trickling
coming in.
Because you're looking at a total of 80 seats, and
of course.
It of course has to go
so
higher.
The BJP number is 70 plus. If you ask Home Minister Amit Shah for BJP, they say we are going to, yes.
Because see, 71 was their target. 71 was a target they already arrived upon in 2014.
Yes.
2019 they saw a fall, and now in 2024 they hope to sort of.
So they are saying 77 up to 77 is what the prediction is for UP for BJP.
Sweeping,
historic verdict. Which means essentially you're only letting go of Mainpuri, Kannauj, and perhaps Raebareli, the 3 seats from where the 3 family heads are. are fighting.
In fact, the BJP supporters are even negating if Raebareli will
Yeah,
go,
exactly.
because they're saying that Dinesh Pratap Singh last time managed to get half the vote share of Sonia Gandhi.
Yes, so I'll be interested in knowing what this 3 to 6 number is. Eastern UP, where I managed to travel a bit, Ghazipur is where I went. Mukhtar Ansari's brother Afzal Ansari is fighting from this particular seat. The narrative is that Yogi Adityanath government has removed mafia rule from Uttar Pradesh. Mukhtar Ansari's death, even though it was in hospital, it was considered medical death, a natural death, so to say. But the narrative, whisper campaign that is being carried out is, and his family went to the court with that he has been poisoned, and that's the whisper campaign in this election as well. So if Afzal Ansari loses, Yogi Adityanath will get a thumbs up from the voters.
And that's again where I'm going to come to, not to negate the fact that Prime Minister is fighting from Varanasi. So he's also sort of already staked claim to his belonging to UP, with his constituency being Varanasi. But not to forget the role that has been played by the CM. He's saying, "Main Dushasan hataunga Sushasan se." And we've seen that happen with the bulldozer Raj. Of course, many have questioned that. We've seen how encounters have taken place, but the common perception, unfortunately, whether or not it is judicially the right thing to do, the common perception on ground has been in favor of the CM.
Oh, absolutely.
The women feel safer.
Totally.
In fact, the minorities are laughing all the way to the bank. They're saying that we've benefited from the welfare schemes, whether it is the Shasan or the Rashan.
No, in fact, law and order, the last assembly election or this time Lok Sabha election, even those who are saying that their voting preference is not the Bharatiya Janata Party, even they would acknowledge that law and order has changed for the better in Uttar Pradesh. Even in rural belts.
Because if you look at the Samajwadi Party, and to an extent, even, BSP was known to have control, but let's not forget, all those goons have had their stints with the BSP as well.
Afzal is a BSP MP, sitting BSP MP.
So, Samajwadi Party has now, in fact, attained that reputation of being a party of goons.
Yeah, but Afzal, again, I'm quoting him because he's the only one left from what is being called mafia. If you ask him, he said, "Mafia hai ki masiha? ये 4 तारीख को पता चल जाएगा." So he is telling the people that I have done and my family has done so much for you, and we come from a family of freedom fighters. His father and his aunt, they all have legacy. He does not tire to tell the story to the local people there that when Mahatma Gandhi was in need of a premises to start the Congress office, they had a property in Old Delhi's Daryaganj, and his grandfather just handed over the keys to say, "Aap yahan Congress ka daftar shuru kijiye." So he's trying to negate this mafia tag by saying that we are coming from a family of freedom fighters. My brother has done so much for this for this area. So that's an interesting.
And the narrative of crime hand in hand with politics has sort of been completely decimated by the BJP. Whether it is the encounter of an Atiq Ahmed or the death of a Mukhtar Ansari.
Yes.
The BJP has proven that we will not welcome and honor these goons, whether they are outside bars or behind bars.
Yeah, even for Atiq, if you ask the Yogi Adityanath government, they would say we are investigating as to who were these people who came and shot him. We didn't have anything to do with him. But let's also talk about Bihar. Interesting numbers for Bihar also there. NDA 10 to 13, India 3 to 6. For Bihar, 39 is what the Bharatiya Janata Party and JDU have at the moment. So from there, if they come to 10, the numbers I think are still trickling in. Only 14 is what we have so far.
All right. We'll have a look at the numbers. Let's in fact give our viewers a quick recap of all the numbers that have trickled in so far as the exit poll is concerned. Let me take you through all those numbers as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned. Well, in fact, let me also thank Arunima as we speak. She's shared some very precious and entertaining insights. Remember, Arunima has been very thorough with the ground level. She's in fact travelled all over the country, especially north, and those figures, as we were discussing Uttar Pradesh, you can see NDA getting 22 to 25 so far. As we've been telling you, these are figures that are only trickling in. Uttar Pradesh getting, as far as India is concerned, 23 to 6 so far. But remember, the total tally that we are looking at is 80. And as I was discussing with Arunima, the number that the BJP, in fact, NDA is targeting is 77 पार. वेदर दैट 77 पार होगा कि नहीं, वो तो हमें आने वाले कुछ वक्त में एग्जिट पोल की ये जो फिगर्स है वो हम आपको बता देते हैं. At the same time, let's now also look at Bihar. Bihar figures have come. NDA 10 to 13, as you can see. India 3-6, but again the total tally is 40, and we'll have to see how that in fact pans out. In fact, I'm also joined in by Aman Sharma, who in fact Aman is very much with us. वो उत्तर प्रदेश की रग रग से वाकिफ हैं, तो उत्तर प्रदेश पे आपकी टिप्पणी ज़रूर लूँगी मैं अमन. These numbers of course as we can see are still trickling in only. NDA having a massive lead on expected lines 22-25, India 3-6, but I know you've said it very often that it's going to be a historic verdict for the NDA, particularly BJP in Uttar Pradesh.
Uttar Pradesh, Akanksha, if I would tell you, is a very complex state. It is a state where caste, I would say, still reigns supreme. So if we go back a bit into history, look at the 2014 election in Uttar Pradesh, the Lok Sabha election. That was when Mr. Modi's wave was, I would say, at its peak in Uttar Pradesh. Mr. Amit Shah was in charge of the BJP in Uttar Pradesh. NDA at that time notched up this record margin of 73 out of 80 seats, which was a big, big win. At that time, all the four principal parties, the BJP, the Congress, the BSP, the SP, were contesting separately.
Right.
So some people said that maybe the BJP had got an advantage of that. Come 2019, we saw BSP, SP and RLD form this very formidable alliance on the other side, and Congress in a way was also unofficially a part of that alliance. So it was BJP versus the rest. Even then, the opposition was only able to reduce the NDA's performance from 73 seats to 64 seats, only a loss of 9 seats. While many predicted there will be a washout like Bihar,
right,
and the BJP could be dropping to 30, some people said 40, but still, I think the BJP, the NDA was able to keep its fort strong, 64 seats, and later it won 2 more Lok Sabha seats in by-polls, very tough seats also, Azamgarh, Rampur. So effectively, as we speak today, NDA in UP is at 66 out of 80 seats. What changes in this election? I feel, number one, caste arithmetic has totally changed. Because now we see that SP and BSP are contesting separately, while the RLD has jumped over to the BJP side.
That could be the differentiating factor.
It's a differentiating factor because now the NDA caste arithmetic, especially in Western UP, I think the seats we have...
So far, Samajwadi Party used to, in fact, tom about its hold on the Yadav vote, but that is something that RLD may now try and pull in for the BJP.
I would still say, Akanksha, to be moderate, I would say SP still has a hold over the Yadav vote. I think in the end contest, when we'll see, I am predicting that when the final figures of the UP come, you will see SP would be maybe at 7-8 seats in UP, which is a good performance for SP in UP. SP in UP. Because its Yadav voter, is very much still, I think, intact with the Samajwadi Party. What they are missing is the BSP and the RLD. Because that will make a formidable caste arithmetic. That is missing this time. Obviously, the number 2 factor...
That is why I'd like to, in fact, see if BSP remains at 0 or not.
BSP remains. The BSP has completely gone to the... BSP has just one MLA in the entire UP assembly of 403 MLAs. So, Mayawati's party is on the complete decline. I would say it's completely disappeared from UP. The principal
factor, do you think that has also backfired for Mayawati?
Well, I think Mayawati breaking her alliance with Akhilesh Yadav was a very, very bad political decision. Mayawati won 10 seats in the last Lok Sabha elections in UP due to the Samajwadi Party. Not due to its own appeal, it was Samajwadi Party's votes which got transferred to BSP. True. BSP's votes did not get transferred to SP.
It was never a solid alliance.
Yes, it was not a solid alliance. There are two mercurial leaders in Akhilesh Yadav and Mayawati. They won't have lasted long. But I still feel that if they had continued with their alliance, they would have posed a formidable challenge to the BJP. That challenge now is missing. The caste arithmetic is with the BJP. Number 2.
Why do you say that the caste arithmetic is with the BJP when you're also saying that Yadav vote, which is a very crucial one, has sort of not been, if it's still owned by the Samajwadi?
The Yadav voter is a very small voter. It's bigger in influence. But in number, the Yadav voter is not a very, very big vote chunk in Uttar Pradesh. It becomes bigger when Yadav votes combine with the Dalit voters. And they come together and they start voting against the BJP. Then it becomes formidable. Otherwise, what you see...
Let's also talk about the Sanatan factor because of the Ram Mandir.
Yes, Ram Mandir, I would say there are 3 factors in UP working for BJP. The first factor I just explained, the caste arithmetic. Number 2 factor is Modi plus Yogi. So not just Mr. Modi's popularity in UP, which continues to be, the appeal used to be very high. The popularity of the Chief Minister, Yogi Adityanath, is also very high in UP.
True.
So it's a double engine in the truest sense.
Also in Uttar Pradesh, in fact, I'm going to request one of my, people to get me a black coffee, please, as we speak. Aman, many states are being touted as Modi ji's victory. They are saying that this is a vote going only for the charisma of the leader that Modi ji is. But I beg to differ when it comes to Uttar Pradesh. Just like, in fact, Uttar Pradesh, we've also seen others. There are a couple of states where I think the local, the state level factor, like in Tamil Nadu, if BJP has managed to sort of, going by the figures in our exit polls, is managing to make that breakthrough, I think Annamalai also is to be credited. Similarly, when you look at Uttar Pradesh, the Yogi Modi factor, the way we've seen Yogi operate, especially when it comes to decimating crime, the welfare schemes, the Labharthi factors, all of those factors perhaps make UP one of the best examples of a double engine ki sarkar.
Absolutely, and if you know what really ails the BJP in national politics is they have a strong central leadership, but when it comes to state leadership, the chief ministers, many say the BJP chief ministers are not strong. They can't win an election on their own without the Modi appeal. This, I think, is not the case in UP. You have seen Yogi Adityanath win a second consecutive election in UP, which was a record, a historic win that BJP won twice in UP, though with lesser numbers, but still with a full majority. It was a very, very big deal. And I think similar story is being repeated in the Lok Sabha elections. If BJP is at 66 today, I would imagine BJP would finish 70 plus in UP this time. SP would win 7 to 8 seats. Congress may just win Rai Bareli at most. That's the UP, and that's a phenomenal story because
you know, Arunima and I were exactly discussing this, that this 3 to 6 for the India alliance, does this even include the Congress party, or does it majorly have only Samajwadi party? Would be interesting to see what the breakup in fact comes like. Let's now also talk about the Sanatan factor as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned. You have covered UP very extensively. What was your assessment on ground level when it comes to Ayodhya, and how we've seen the Prime Minister in fact use Lord Ram as a rallying force, as a unifying force, not just north but south of India as well?
It's a double engine in Sanatan also in UP, I would say. You know, it's the Prime Minister's appeal. Prime Minister doing the Pran Pratishthan ceremony of the Ram Temple on January 22nd. Many people in the opposition had told me in UP ki wo ho gaya, ab itna uska momentum nahi hai election aane tak. I don't think that is true. It was talk on every street, every neighborhood about the Ram Temple movement. It was being talked about by many people. And secondly, you have a monk as the chief minister. He's a man wearing saffron as the chief minister. He's unabashed about his Hindutva credentials. He's been openly speaking about it. So I think there is a sense in the people of UP, at least amongst the Hindus, I would say the majority community, ki hamari sarkar hai in the truest sense. You know, ye sarkar Yogi ji ki sarkar hai. Many people could talk about this bulldozer model. Many people talk about
the encounters.
The encounters, that the loudspeakers have come out of taken off from mosques. You know, all these are factors polarizing, yes, but still I think this is the USP of the Yogi Sarkar, which has brought it popularity. And if these results, I think the final results when UP
also having interacted with the Muslims in Uttar Pradesh, primarily Lucknow, in fact they also seem surprisingly very happy with Yogi Sarkar. They are saying that when there is violence or when there is chaos or poor administration in a state, it is everybody who bears the brunt of it.
Absolutely.
And the minorities who've also sort of benefited from the welfare schemes, whether it is housing or whether it is the ration schemes of women, whether from Hindus or Muslims, they all are happy, especially with the BJP's NDA's own sort of decision on triple talaq as well.
See, Akanksha, I would say I won't say that many Muslims are voting for the BJP even in UP. Yes, some measure they do. And I think the big factor is the moment I travelled in West UP, for example, with big Muslim concentration seats like Muzaffarnagar, Sambhal, you know, all these area, Meerut, be it Moradabad, you know, these are like 40-50% Muslim population dominated areas. You do hear some voices when you go there, especially amongst the younger Muslims, I would say, that there is much more safety in UP, especially amongst the women. You know, I remember wearing this two hijab wearing woman in a KFC in Moradabad, who told me that, you know, घर से निकलने में अब डर नहीं लगता है, शाम को जा सकते हैं, स्कूटी पे यहाँ वहाँ जा सकते हैं. पहले ये माहौल नहीं था, 6 बजे ही फोन आ जाता था, कहाँ हो. अब 8 भी बज जाए तो लोग कहते हैं कि चलो आ जाना घर पे, सब सेफ है. So this I think is a big factor. That young girl told me, she was I think a medical student, and remember she telling me that, you know, okay, we don't care, we want a safe government, we don't want the gundagardi of Samajwadi party to come back. So that's a big factor on the ground, that Yogi, you know, he may not be the ideal CM for Muslims, but Muslims I think in UP also enjoy the fact that there is much more security. There is no gunda element like SP, you know, coming in a cavalcade of cars and, you know, so that kind of a thing, that VIP gundaism in UP has become a thing of the past, because now the chief minister has come down with such an iron hand in UP that people are very, very fearful of showing this gundaism on the streets of UP.
Obviously, because if you look at the Bahubalis, whether it is an Atiq Ahmed or a Mukhtar Ansari or a Vikas Dubey, it doesn't matter whether they are Hindu or Muslim. The fact of the matter is the common man is smart enough to choose Shasan or Dushasan ke beech mein.
Absolutely. Shasan and Rashan both are big things in UP. Rashan, biggest beneficiary is UP. It was a factor even in the last assembly elections, I feel. This time also, UP is a fortress of the BJP like it is Gujarat. I would not hesitate to say that the way Gujarat has been for the BJP for many years, UP is slowly become that. It is very, very difficult to dislodge and defeat the BJP in UP. You need a bigger alternative. Only Akhilesh Yadav alone cannot do it. You know, he needed a Mayawati, he needed the whole opposition alliance to come together to pose that caste arithmetic challenge to BJP. That is now simply missing, and I think Mr. Yogi Adityanath is in a strong position, and as we can see, even the Maharashtra figures have come in.
Yes, exactly. In NDA at 32 to 35, 48% vote share over there. India, you can see 15 to 18 with a 40% vote share. Others, we do not know how many seats, but they're showing 12% vote share over there.
That's a setback for the NDA.
Absolutely. And why do you say so? Would be interesting to hear.
So, the NDA had last time won 41 seats in Maharashtra. Out of the 48 seats, 32 to 35 is showing, and this is expected. Because the refrain in Maharashtra has been that though the BJP remains strong on the seats it is contesting,
but as
its
we've been
allies,
discussing, it's about the margin also this time.
Yeah, margin also, and I think the BJP is strong on the seats it contesting in Maharashtra, but its allies, both Eknath Shinde as well as Ajit Pawar, are not that strong. So I think the losses which may be coming to the NDA is from the seats that Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar are contesting, and I think BJP did a mistake here by giving as many as 15 seats to Eknath Shinde in Maharashtra. It was too much. I think Eknath Shinde did not deserve anything more than single digit seats there. BJP gave him too much, and I think the price is being paid by the NDA.
What do you think has worked in the favor of India with a 15 to 18 over there and a 40% vote share, which is quite close?
Well, this shows, I think, that Akanksha, that the sympathy of the people remains with Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar, because
Exactly
their parties broke away, and people maybe still feel that the original party is still of Mr. Sharad Pawar and Mr. Uddhav Thackeray. The public sympathy, in a way, the way parties broke, the way government changed, I think the entire election was in fact fought by the Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray on this front.
The legacy factor perhaps has worked in favor of India so far, but as we said, we've just been discussing the numbers, and the margin may not be that much, but NDA is still ahead, as you can see, 32 to 35 with a 48% vote share. Let's quickly move to Bengal, a very interesting state over there. Aman, TMC left with 3 to 6, 6 to 9. The numbers are still trickling in as we speak.
It's just 10 seats so far.
So far, but the Congress still at 0. Did you expect that?
Congress won't get anything. Only Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary seat is the one which Congress has a chance in. He may also lose, I feel, because the Congress hasn't put its full might behind him, and
And
TMC.
as nascent as it sounds to sort of ruminate over the TMC versus BJP angle over here, but 3 to 6 so far for TMC. Massive disappointment, it seems like.
I think, Akanksha, when the final numbers will come in, of
Right.
course, and then we'll know.
Right.
But I think in this time in West Bengal, it will be a flip. So the last time, the TMC won 22 seats and the BJP won 18 seats. It might be a flip.
And that is something that the BJP is also expecting.
BJP will be the single largest party in number of seats in West Bengal. That will be very, very big for them.
Right. That is going to be a big victory, as big as perhaps them opening an account in Tamil Nadu. But I want to come back to Maharashtra, because these numbers are more solid to basically talk about. The Pawar and the Thackeray factor, how do you think that Baramati is an interesting model of that?
Absolutely, and Baramati is a key seat. I would love to know who wins it ultimately between the family battle that the Pawars have fought. Coming back to the same thing, I would say that the entire election was fought by Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray on the ground that we have the public sympathy. Our parties were broken away by the BJP under the money power, under whatever power of influence, power of ED and CBI, and our parties were broken, and the BJP came into government by the back door. We originally ran a good government, and our government was brought down by the BJP through illicit means. That's what the claim of the opposition in Maharashtra has been. And I would say whatever I gathered from BJP, there was this fear that I think the BJP may remain strong in Maharashtra, but both its allies are also, Akanksha, untested in an electoral arena. This is the first time that Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar in a way are leading the election for their respective parties. Earlier it was always Sharad Pawar and Uddhav Thackeray leading the election. So this was also a new thing. I feel though Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde have always been involved in the mechanics of the election scene as the lieutenants for their original parties.
Do you
But
think
this time,
that Eknath Shinde as a CM is also not being seen as a very strong CM, still as a puppet CM? Some have even drawn comparisons with an Eknath Shinde, that of a Manmohan Singh, being controlled by the higher command.
that has been an issue, and of course the BJP always wanted its own chief minister in Maharashtra. That is why the
And
alliance
the fact
with
that now they have two deputy CMs, is that really working out?
Well, I think there might be a silver lining for the BJP in this result. I would say, if I take it a bit forward for the Maharashtra state elections, now BJP gets a chance to say, look, you guys are not working. We want to go ahead with our own chief minister.
Are you expecting a shuffle of sorts?
Anything is possible in Maharashtra. There have been
Because
two big.
they'll go on war footing after this.
Yes,
for
Maharashtra, is a state with unpredictable political turn of events happening overnight. So we can't say what happens. Even when now the government had come of the BJP, nobody expected that Sharad Pawar's party would break or Eknath Shinde could break away from his original party of
Not
Uddhav
letting
Thackeray.
leaders like a Piyush Goyal and all take a lead as far as election campaigning is concerned. Of course, he was campaigning actively, but we've seen that happen towards the tail end of the elections. Do you think that that's also been a factor?
Well, I think BJP, as Akanksha, this election is totally fought in the name of Mr. Narendra Modi. I don't think much difference would have happened if Piyush Goyal was made to campaign more. Piyush Goyal was fighting his own seat, which is a very safe seat, and he will anyways win. But I think Maharashtra, BJP won't be too disappointed. I would say they would be a bit disappointed, dropping from 41 to if 33, 34 they win.
But
they
it
drop
may
6, 7
perhaps
seats.
just arrive as a wake-up call.
Because I would be interested to know if in these 32, 35 seats, how many seats is the BJP winning out of the ones it contested. So I suppose BJP would be winning more of its seats. It would be the allies who are losing. And that was something, a writing which was on the wall in the middle of the election also. I had senior BJP leaders telling me that this is a cause of concern. This was also a cause of concern in Bihar. That there the BJP is strong, but Nitish Kumar is not strong.
Also, the confusion till the last day has perhaps also translated in numbers, and as we've been discussing, it is perhaps a wake-up call of sorts. But coming to Bengal, I want you to share all those factors that have worked in favor of the BJP. Sandesh Khali, I'm sure, has been one, but the corruption-ridden TMC, has that finally sort of arrived as a wake-up call for the Bengal voter?
See, Akanksha, I think Bengal, if you see from where the BJP has begun, it began from 2 Lok Sabha members and 3 MLAs. To grow from 2 Lok Sabha members to 18 Lok Sabha members in the last election, and from 3 MLAs to 80 MLAs in the last assembly elections. So I remember when we did the interview of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he in fact mentioned this, that when we had lost in West Bengal and we won 80 seats, the entire media said it's a big loss for the BJP. He said I saw it as a victory because we went up from 3 to 80. So it was a huge jump, and I think BJP is in Bengal for the longer haul. It is aiming at the next assembly elections. Already 18 seats in the last Lok Sabha elections was a big wake-up call for Mamata Banerjee. We saw her, completely revamp her politics, return that cut money which was taken by her politicians back to people. She got Prashant Kishore to manage her entire campaign, and she won the assembly election. She remains, I think, still, and Bengal is a state, Akanksha, which gives a long rope to their netas. So if you see the left rule for decades, for Mamata Banerjee for now
From
third terms.
TMC and BJP could very well have its chances.
Could have its chance, and BJP will have to remain there, keep working at it, and BJP, to its credit, is chipping at it regularly. I think the next assembly election, BJP is very confident of winning power in West Bengal. It will pose a significant challenge to Mamata Banerjee. And this result, if they actually, right now, if you're saying the full result is still to come out, but if the BJP is now the single largest party in terms of seats in Bengal when it comes to the Lok Sabha elections, I think you could see it will be a big fillip to their assembly election
campaign. And for
campaign.
a party, as far as TMC is concerned, that came on the promise of Ma Mati Manus, well, as far as factor is concerned, that's completely been decimated by what we've witnessed in Sandesh Khali, and that is, as far as the female voters are concerned, we've already seen how the BJP has managed to get them on their side.
I was speaking to one senior BJP leader about Sandesh Khali, and what he told me that, okay, a crime happened there. Crimes happen every part of the country. There are crimes against women in other parts of the country also, in BJP ruled states also. But the conviction of the government comes from the fact, how do you act against that crime? if it's your own person, own party cadre, own party leader in charge of that crimes, how do you act against him? And see how they acted against Sheikh Shahjahan. The man escaped, absconded. After like weeks, he was caught. Then also all attempts were made to, not let that case get transferred to a central agency. So I think that is what really brought the embarrassment to the Mamata Banerjee government. Not just the crime. I think also the post-action, the post-attitude of the Mamata Banerjee government to that horrific crime which happened in Sandesh Kali. And I think TMC will pay the price of this. And this is the belt.
And the women voter factor has always worked in favor of BJP. Primarily Prime Minister Modi, who talks about the Nari Shakti. I think that Nari Shakti factor has played in his favor even in Bengal.
South Bengal, anyways, I think I would be interested to know when the final figures come that South Bengal is the place where the TMC has its stronghold. So TMC used to sweep entire South Bengal. BJP के लिए South Bengal में जाना ही was the biggest challenge. If BJP has this time in the Lok Sabha breached the South Bengal fortress of the TMC, it's a very, very big development for the BJP there. And I think once the final numbers come in, we will know. But I am expecting that the BJP will be the single largest
party. And in
party.
fact, we have some more numbers coming in as we speak. Goa over there, 1:1. Between Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Yeah, one side. Gujarat is a clean sweep.
Gujarat again a clean sweep on expected lines. 62% vote share, 26 seats going to the BJP, which was of course expected. I covered Gujarat and that was the sense we had already. It was a foregone conclusion.
They already had won Surat, so it's 25
right
or 25 now. They already were one ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But look at Goa, in fact, 1:1. If I can begin with Goa, the fact that we also saw the controversy brewing over how, we had Viriato Fernandez, the Congress candidate from Goa, in fact, talk about how the Indian constitution was imposed on Goa. All of that has perhaps whether work for BJP or still work in favor of Congress.
Losing one seat, but Goa, they have their own government, so it will be taken seriously that why have we lost there. But yeah, of course, I think Gujarat will be very happy, BJP again retaining the state, and Gujarat is one state which has truly become like a one-party rule state. Congress has totally been decimated there completely, especially after the crushing assembly election loss. BJP winning 156 seats in a record.
It's home turf for the BJP, whether it is the Modi factor or the Amit Shah.
But Akanksha, I would have imagined, and many people would imagine, in the opposition would have imagined that once Mr. Narendra Modi moved from Gujarat to the centre, and they were, weaker chief minister, Vijay Rupani had to be removed, Anandi Behan Patel had to be removed. Now we have Bhupender Singh
And that captured my interest as well when I was covering Gujarat. Aman, what I saw that it didn't matter to the people over there that we have a muted CM. I won't say mute CM, but muted
He doesn't speak at all.
So, in fact, I was covering Amit Shah's rally and he was very much there. When I asked people, they said, "Arey, wo khade to hain, dekhiye to." And he was completely overshadowed. He was.
Yeah.
That's not the case, as I said, in Uttar Pradesh. But we've seen that. And in fact, inside sources also talk about how Gujarat is so special for the Prime Minister that it's almost a conscious decision to keep the hierarchy like that, where Prime Minister has a direct sort of interference.
I remember going to Ahmedabad for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's voting when he voted that day. So in the morning, I remember this scene around outside the small school in Ahmedabad where Mr. Modi had to vote. And before Mr. Modi arrived, Mr. Amit Shah arrived there. He did a complete long walk and people cheering for Mr. Amit Shah. Then Mr. Modi comes. Both of them are walking on the road coming. Mr. Modi is coming to vote. That display that this is our turf. Nobody can challenge us here. We are the two, it's like the Jodi, Amit Shah, Modi Jodi there. There are children cheering for them. People who have come to vote are not voting, waiting for see Mr. Modi first. That man, even after 10 years, has left the state. Amit Shah has also left the state 10 years ago. Both of them are now in Delhi. Amit Shah, yes, is the MP from Gandhinagar. But still that craze for both I think Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah is very, very much there in Gujarat. And I saw that also during the Gujarat Assembly elections when I had done that, I had toured Gujarat extensively. I could see on the ground that, it was very difficult to find a Congress voter in Gujarat.
Absolutely. And what caught my attention further was that when I went to Manek Chowk, that is in fact a vegetable market by the day and of course bullion in the afternoon and a food street by night. I also bumped into several Muslims over there and I said that, are you happy with the governance here? As a minority voter, they said, अगर अहमदाबाद का विकास होता है तो उसमें हमारा भी तो विकास हो रहा है. And that really sort of fascinated me. And in fact, I think Gujarat is also one example of the grassroots connects. When you, in fact, go by the rallies that we are seeing, of the Prime Minister or of Amit Shah, the seas of cadres that you witness, it's nothing less than the rally we witnessed in Varanasi as well. What is your take on the grassroots connect that BJP has? Because I remember, in fact, the BJP president also said that for us, if we have a Karyakarta vote for us, it is the entire family that goes and casts vote for us.
Gujarat se Kanksha also, I met C.R. Patil, the state BJP president, when I was there. He was very clear that, in Gujarat, the BJP has such deep organizational machinery that, we are not interested in winning seats anymore, he said. We are interested in winning every booth. So whichever booth we have lost in the last election, any seat, we will go and ensure that we win that booth. For the BJP, I think in the last election, 156, the story which got ignored in the last Gujarat Assembly election was AAP winning half a dozen seats in Gujarat.
Yes.
It was a big wake-up call for the BJP that, this party, a third party, is coming up in Gujarat and the Congress has been crushed. So I think this time...
But this time is in fact good news only for them.
Yeah.
And that factor that you're talking about their machinery, their study and the kind of surveillance that they have in terms of their readings of the numbers is bang on. Because I remember one of the party karyakartas in Vadodara talking about how they were questioned because of the lower voter turnout, primarily because of heat, but clearly that has not, even if there was a low voter turnout, it has not really backfired for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Now we also have Madhya Pradesh numbers coming in, I believe.
I am still looking for them
The
right
Madhya
now.
Pradesh numbers are coming on our TV channel, and Madhya
We are
Pradesh has
hoping that they'll
29
be
seats.
updated over here as well.
Madhya Pradesh has 29 seats, Akanksha, and it's again predicting a clean sweep, 26 to 29 seats for the BJP. Last time the Congress had won only one seat, Chhindwara seat of Kamal Nath.
True.
Kamal Nath's son rather had won it, Nakul Nath.
Nakul
This
Nath.
time it's showing Congress at 0 to 3 seats. So it seems that Congress may win Chhindwara and may win a couple of more seats.
Perhaps on a sentimental factor, would you say
Sentimental factor, and also I think the BJP, though it won a big victory in Madhya Pradesh, the Congress organization is very much still there in Madhya Pradesh on the ground.
that? Also, do you think that the MP election has sort of translated in the Lok Sabha as well, the results that we've seen?
Yeah, if the BJP is winning 26 to 29, and if we say if they're winning...
It's a fairly recent
fair.
one.
They won 28 the last time. If they're down by 1 or 2,
Right.
that could be a bit of concern to them. But Congress had won just one seat, as I said, the last time. And
What are the changing factors and the leaders apart from Prime Minister Modi? Of course, as far as the state level leaders are concerned, Arunima and I were discussing the role that even Scindia has played, because we've also seen him transform as a leader compared to 2019. Even as an aviation minister, he's left his mark because he's somebody who likes to take charge if there's a problem. He's also connected with the grassroots. Of course, he has that relationship of being the Raja, that with the Praja. But how do you, in fact, put into perspective all those factors that have worked in favor of the BJP? In Madhya
I
Pradesh?
think the switch over by Jyotiraditya Scindia from the Congress to the BJP was a death blow to the Congress in Madhya Pradesh. Kamal Nath was never a leader in the entire Gwalior-Chambal region of Madhya Pradesh. There was always been Mr. Scindia's turf. So earlier, I would feel, in the time of Digvijay Singh, there was this nice division in Madhya Pradesh between the Congress. Like the Chhindwara region was firmly a Kamal Nath turf. The Gwalior-Chambal region was clearly a Scindia turf, and the middle region, Guna and all that, till Bhopal was mainly Digvijay Singh turf. The going away of Jyotiraditya Scindia exposed that, I think, a big gap in the Congress politics, because BJP suddenly became very, very strong in Gwalior-Chambal, and that showed even in the last assembly elections. We saw the BJP win big in that region, Jyotiraditya Scindia's region. It was almost a clean sweep by the BJP there. And now if Jyotiraditya Scindia being with the BJP, and BJP has a galaxy of leaders in Madhya Pradesh. They have a Jyotiraditya Scindia, they have a Narendra Singh Tomar, they have a Prahlad Patel, they have Kailash Vijayvargiya. So in a way, it is the galaxy. Of course, Shivraj Chauhan, the former chief minister, is very much there, still in the mix. He's contesting from Vidisha, and there's talk that he may become a union minister if he wins the seat, and I think he will win. It's his seat which he's won earlier as well. So I think Madhya Pradesh is a state which is also strong for, they have their own government there. But I think if the Congress manages to increase its tally from 1 to 2 or 3, it will be a big of a setback for the BJP, and BJP will have to do some introspection on what really has gone wrong.
Even 1 to 2 to 3, you think?
Yeah, because BJP wanted a clean sweep. Chhindwara is a seat which they lost the last time. This time, the chief minister had camped in Chhindwara for over a week.
Absolutely.
And he was there and they wanted to snatch
And with
Chhindwara as well.
reports indicating that switch of Kamal Nath perhaps even
Yes.
to the BJP. Perhaps BJP may have wanted that to come true, but that certainly has not. But I think you're right, because if we compare with the recent assembly performance, this could in fact be a wake-up call for the BJP. But I don't think that's going to be too much of a concern.
Too much of a concern, because anyways he's saying 26 to 29 for BJP. The projection is of a clean sweep or maybe 2-3 seats less. So obviously if I think Chhindwara is a seat which the Kamal Nath's son may still win, Nakul Nath may still win. Rest of the seats, I think the BJP has a strong chance. Maybe one more seat they may lose, but BJP will be satisfied with this.
And as we speak, in fact, I'm going to talk about one factor that has really impacted the election before I hand over to Shivani, in fact. Talk about how there was so much brouhaha about the low voter turnout, the election commission also being accused of not releasing figures on time. Do you think that has really sort of played a role over here as far as the NDA numbers are concerned? Because at a time when NDA is looking at increasing its margin, would that be a factor? I'm going to in fact let you take over with that as Shivani makes a switch.
Well, I strongly believe there are many factors people contribute to a low voter turnout. For me, I think the major factor was heat. I think that it was the heat factor which costed voter turnout to drop, at least in the earlier phases of these elections. And we saw the voter turnout then even out in the third, fourth phase onwards. And that is why I think this time the voter turnout was overall, I think when the EC put out the full figure, we won't see much of a difference. Maybe 1-2 percentage points at most. The overall voter turnout could be lesser. But of course, the BJP always feels, and the BJP senior leaders in fact has told us, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh told us that the BJP's assessment is that it is the opposition's voter which maybe did not step out to vote. Also, it was disillusioned, the opposition's voter, because it thought that anyways the BJP and Mr. Narendra Modi are going to win this election. So BJP is very, very confident that given its own booth management, given its own the way it brings out its voters to the polling booths, the BJP's voters surely came out to the booth in large numbers. It was maybe the opposition's voter in some measure which did not turn up to vote, or it was the heat wave. You know, the punishing temperatures we have seen in this election during the day, and all the polling days have been a testimony to that this long drawn election of nearly 44-day period, almost 2 months of polling period was there. So that may have costed the polling percentage at some point of time. But I think in the larger scheme of things, I don't think the BJP is really worried about the voting percentage figures. It still feels, and given the numbers that News 18 is now putting out of its mega exit poll, it seems very clear that BJP has already crossed the 200 mark with just 322 seats predictions that we have put out. There's still more than 200 seats to go. So clearly the NDA is in a pole position up from 200 seats, and the final figures are still to come in. But we are seeing the figure from Gujarat, which seems a clean sweep. Chhattisgarh also BJP 9-11. So this is also a big verdict for the BJP, because if they manage to hold on to their fort in Chhattisgarh also and not. So we are joined by Shivani now.
Yes, what great numbers we are seeing, and lots to talk about. The big picture continues to be extremely exciting. Aman, we've been waiting for this day for quite some time. I mean, we've been waiting for June 4th for quite some time. These are, of course, just some of the exit poll numbers. I will also bring for you the poll of polls. As far as other exit polls are concerned, that can just give you a slightly better idea of which way the wind is, as they say in electioneering, because we've seen polls get it horribly wrong sometimes, we've seen polls get it bang on, and these general elections, Aman, stand out for the fact that it was very difficult to pinpoint what was that one big issue. All through those 7 phases, we were struggling to really figure out what is this election about. Yes, it is about Narendra Modi and re-electing Narendra Modi. He made it quite a bit about the OBC reservation and the Muslim quota. But I think BJP did that as a response to the India Alliance campaign on ground, that if they win 400 par, they could change the constitution. So lots of people have been questioning, why did the Prime Minister take that route? My sense is that he did it to blunt that attack, and actually in some senses he was very successful on that. So we'll talk about some of the macro issues. We'll talk about some of the state issues as we go along. Let me quickly just highlight some of the big numbers for you as it stands right now. So, we are not even actually, we are actually roughly at the halfway mark now as far as the exit poll is concerned. Some of the big state numbers have come, and you can see as we're bringing to you on our banners all across the street, the NDA is now at 203 to 2013. The India Alliance is 93 to 98. Actually, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. They are still doing better, but I would be interested to know how much is the Congress number in that.
Out of this.
Out of this. And India, of course, see, even Shivani, you have the DMK, which is, winning a number of seats in Tamil Nadu. You'll have in Kerala the good numbers for
so LDF has 2 to 5 in Kerala, but the UDF has 15 to 18. UDF has some partners, the Congress has some partners, but I'm guessing the lion's share is going to be the Congress's share here as well. The vote percentage here is also impressive, but not surprising because the UDF has IUML and others, and they've done well with their vote share. So you look at, okay, so
the major gain is also coming from Maharashtra because our poll is giving 15 to 18 seats to the India Alliance in Maharashtra.
Yes, let's talk about Maharashtra. So these are the numbers for Maharashtra. Let me just zoom in a little bit on these so that you can see it on the screen as well. So you've got the NDA number at 32 to 35, 48% vote share, not surprising, but 15 to 18 is a big number for them. I don't know how much is Congress out of this, frankly, because Congress had what, 2 last time? I'm not sure whether their fortunes have changed, but this time around, of course, these are going to be some of the UBT and the NCP Sharad Pawar numbers.
So we were just talking about Maharashtra with the Kanksha earlier. See, Maharashtra, the bigger factor has been that 2 things, I think. The BJP is strong in Maharashtra. I would assume that BJP would still be winning the majority of its seats that it is contesting in Maharashtra. But it's both allies, be it Eknath Shinde or be it Mr. Ajit Pawar, were perceived as to being weak because they are essentially fighting their first election under their helm for their parties. Earlier it was always Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar leading the election for their respective parties, which have broken away. So in a way, I would say, and also this question mark which was raised, that did the BJP give too many seats to both the allies? Because there was always this talk that Eknath Shinde should not maybe need to be given more than a single digit number, but he ultimately got 14 to 15 seats to contest, and even Ajit Pawar was given more seats. So I think that is costing the NDA in Maharashtra because they had won, Shivani, 41 seats out of 48 the last time. So if they are dropping from 41 seats to 32 to 35.
To your outer limit being 35, that means you're losing at least 6 as per the exit polls.
7 seats, that's a big number, and obviously I think this is costing, I think, I was very surprised when Eknath Shinde was given 15 seats to contest in Maharashtra.
So why do you think that happened? Why is it? Was it done to kind of save the alliance and ensure that this alliance that came together just before these elections, kind of the cadre and the leadership can see eye to eye, and maybe they'll do it only if they have the adequate amount of seats that they wanted to fight on?
He was the chief minister. He's the chief minister. So in a way, BJP chose him as the chief minister. So in a way, I think that was the deal. Also that, when the Lok Sabha, he would be given adequate respect, but adequate respect seems to have been given at the cost of losing seats.
Winnability. Winnability is a big thing with the BJP, but here they seem to have sacrificed winnability.
Also, I feel, Shivani, in Maharashtra, whatever I didn't go there in these elections, whatever I've heard from friends who have toured there and the journalists who are reporting from there, have told me that the public sympathy still continues to be with Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar. So, people still feel that these are the original parties. These are the parties which have been broken away by the BJP, where whatever means, questionable means what people say. So, in a way, if the opposition alliance is winning 15 to 18 seats in Maharashtra this time, it is also because of that public sympathy factor, and which is working for Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar, but not for Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde, who are maybe being seen as the sabotagers, saboteurs who
That is one thing, and they're in power. Sometimes you root for the underdog. Who's the underdog? The one who's not in power anymore.
And who's saying that my party was robbed from me? Who is saying that I built this party, and with Prime Minister Modi went to Maharashtra calling Uddhav Thackeray Nakli Santan of Bala Sahab Thackeray. Obviously, this also builds, Uddhav Thackeray used that to build public sympathy for himself, that I am a Nakli Santan, I am the son of Bala Saab Thackeray. I hold the legacy. So in a way, and of course, the Thackeray family has its hold in Mumbai and Maharashtra.
Some would argue, of course, he betrayed that legacy, and that is why the whole, the whole Mahayudh and Mahabharat in Maharashtra took place. But okay, I just want to quickly go through the numbers. If you're joining us right now, then let's just go through the numbers quickly. We've of course shown the South numbers, the 5 South states at the very top. I'm going to come back to them in just a bit. But let's talk about the other big states whose numbers have come out, and some of them are not surprising at all for the BJP, which is why at the very top they continue to do extremely well at 226 to 236 at this stage. We are roughly at the halfway mark, a little bit ahead of the halfway mark at 351 seats out of 543 that we have declared. Now, some of the states, 3 states particularly, West Bengal, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh went to polls in all 7 phases. So, of course, some of those data is still coming to us, phase 7 especially. But we've got phase 1 to 3 out of these states. I'll get you those in just a bit. Let's talk about Gujarat. Gujarat 26 out of 26 to the BJP, not surprising, they just swept the state elections as well.
They already won one earlier, so Surat already was won. So yeah, it's 25.
62% is the vote share. These are the numbers here, 26 and 62%. This is the BJP, nothing for the India. Although, the number here, the vote percentage, I always find it very interesting to talk about vote percentages. The vote percentage, and this is the Congress vote percentage here, is still 30%. They hold on to their vote percentage always, even in Gujarat.
They don't manage to win seats, but they
always hold on to their vote percentage.
But there is this loyal Congress voter in Gujarat, there is this community, there is Muslim voter, of course, there's other voters also who are hold on to the Congress, but of course, it's become a fortress for the BJP, Mr. Modi, Mr. Amit Shah, fighting from Gandhinagar, Mr. Modi going there to cast his vote. I've seen those visuals live when I was there in Ahmedabad. The appeal of the two men, how they portray. I remember that walk by Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Modi together in that road going towards the polling booth. That boss, this is our fortress. Nobody challenges us here. This is
confidence level is
ecstatic, and they know that nobody can challenge. They've almost demolished the Congress in Gujarat. There is no opposition. It's like a single party ruled state.
Yeah, I don't think the Congress in many years, barring that last state election when Ahmed Patel was still around, when they came just a seat or 2 shy of beating the BJP in Gujarat. Barring that time, I don't think the Congress has had the confidence that they can beat BJP in Gujarat.
And that time you had Hardik Patel on your side, Alpesh Thakur on your side,
Jignesh
Mewani on your side, his whole community anger against you. Even then you couldn't beat the BJP.
They came close though.
They came close. And
2017, I think it was.
Yes, well, the BJP got 99 seats, and now they've got 156 and completely demolished the Congress in the last assembly elections. But it's a big factor, and I think Gujarat is a story, and everybody was expecting 26 or 26. No surprises there. And Congress even didn't give itself.
So if you're wondering how the BJP or the NDA have reached 226 to 236, that's just a 10-seat variable. That's because they've got in Gujarat 26 out of 26. Goa, they're getting the 1 out of 2, but INC is getting 1. And then Madhya Pradesh, the BJP is getting 26 to 29. And there is a figure of 0 to 3 for the Congress, but basically India Alliance is the Congress in Madhya Pradesh. What do you make of that? You think Chhindwara is going to be one of these seats? Although their lower range is 0. So BJP could sweep the state too.
Last time the BJP had won 28.
Yeah.
1 seat Chhindwara was won by Kamal Nath's son, Nakul Nath. This time also the Congress is basically fancying its chances on that 1 seat.
But what else could they win?
Well, they can't win anything else. I think it's very difficult for the Congress, especially after the crushing assembly election loss. We didn't see much aggression by the Congress in Madhya Pradesh. This time, Mr. Kamal Nath seems almost down and out, and there's whole rumors of him joining the BJP, I think, hurt his case even more. So I don't think, besides Chhindwara, Congress has a chance in any seat in Madhya Pradesh. Maybe 1 seat in Central MP. I was told that Congress did have a chance, but it doesn't seem so. At most, if the BJP loses, it will lose maximum, I think, of 2 seats in Madhya Pradesh. They might just come down by 1 seat from their last tally, but Madhya Pradesh doesn't seem to be much of a issue for them.
So let's look at Chhattisgarh very quickly. I'm just going through the states where there's not much of a contest, not much to talk about. Chhattisgarh BJP 9 to 11 is the range. Again, they could sweep the states in all of them. They've done so in the past, and INC is 0 to 2. But the vote share is much closer here, 52% for the BJP and 43% for the Congress party. So the vote share is much closer here. Do you see that, in Chhattisgarh also there's an interesting story, from being in power in Chhattisgarh to, completely almost getting decimated.
Well, Chhattisgarh, Shivani, is a repeat of last time.
This is no.
The Congress always
certainly
wins 2
national
seats.
elections is a different story in Chhattisgarh,
Yeah.
but even otherwise, the Congress
complete
stocks,
turnaround.
its stocks have gone down.
Chhattisgarh was one state where nobody expected this scale of win by the BJP. Everybody was expecting that Bhupesh Baghel will repeat his government, maybe by a smaller margin. But the way the BJP fought that election, it was one of the most underreported elections. Also, I feel in the national media at least, nobody really invested so much into the issues of Chhattisgarh. I remember Arunima from our team going there and actually reporting from the ground there and also reporting that there is this anger against the Congress government, and of course that reflected massively in the results that the BJP won Chhattisgarh by such a huge margin. But Chhattisgarh, as I said, Congress has always won 1 or 2 seats in every Lok Sabha election. So no surprises there. BJP winning 9. If BJP is winning 9, Congress is winning 2. It's a repeat of the last.
So you've got about 40 seats here. You've got about 25 or 26 of Gujarat. Maharashtra we spoke about. We'll get back to it. So this makes it about 75. I'm going to come to the phase-wise seats in just a bit. Let's come to Telangana. Now this is a state that I did visit, and it was such an interesting contest because what was roughly a 2-horse race between the BRS and the Congress traditionally in Telangana became a 3-horse race. You look at the trajectory of the BJP, Aman, over the last few state elections and national elections. They've been increasing their vote share. They've been increasing the number of seats that they've had, both in the state assembly and in the national parliament. Recently, they won they doubled their vote share in the state assembly and won their record seats in the state assembly elections as well. So this is by far their biggest catchment area. I think along with West Bengal, Telangana is their biggest catchment area because this is where they have seen incremental growth. Unlike, let's say, Tamil Nadu or Kerala, where they're focused a lot, but there's no incremental growth there. Progressively in each election. Where is the growth for the BJP coming from? Progressively with vote share and with seats, it is the state like the state of Telangana. So what are our numbers saying? Our numbers are saying 2 to 5 for the BRS. BRS's graph has crashed quite a bit, and we saw that in the state elections. But their vote share is 21%. I think that's consistent. BJP 7 to 10, and the single largest party with 37% of the vote share. INC 5 to 8 and 34%. Very close gap as far as the vote share is concerned. But if the BJP was to manage 37% and manage to swing as many as 10, they would be surprised. Why do I say that? Because the number I was being given, Aman, on ground when I was in Hyderabad was 8621. Even BJP was giving you 8621. What was the breakup? 8 Congress, 6 BJP, 2 BRS, 1 AIMIM. The others here would be the AIMIM, which is 0 to 1 seat. But I don't know why.
Which is Hyderabad most.
Which is Hyderabad, but I don't know why it says 0 to 1. I think it should be 1. But in any case, it might have some others as well. So this is where the BJP was, where from 4, they wanted to double their seats in parliament from Telangana to 8. Conservative idea was 6. But they felt that if the BRS crashes a little bit more, they could get 8. If the Congress, fumbles a little bit, then they could get a little bit more. So this looks... The News 18 exit poll certainly suggests that the BJP could get on the higher end, and this would be a massive achievement for them.
BJP won last time 4 seats in Telangana, so if they're getting 8 to 10, they're more than doubling their tally, which is huge for them. And that was what JP Nadda was also telling us yesterday, that Telangana will be more than doubling our seats. So it seems on track. I think since the BRS government went out of power, obviously BJP is trying to encash the space which has been vacated by the BRS there of the leading opposition party, which is the leading opposition party in Telangana. So BJP is trying for that, and these Lok Sabha elections is a testimony to that, that if they are emerging as the single largest party in Telangana in terms of number of seats in a Lok Sabha election, this is as huge for them as emerging as a single largest party maybe in West Bengal. So clearly BJP is very, very hopeful of getting very good results. As I said, Telangana, Odisha, West Bengal are the 3 big catchment states for them in these elections, and that is why we are seeing these kind of a result. And if I combine all the 5 southern states, Shivani, out of the 130 seats in the 5 southern states, BJP had only won 29 seats the last time, the NDA.
And
this
25
time,
of those came from Karnataka, 4 of them came from Telangana.
Rest was a blank. This time, as per our exit poll, the NDA could win anything between 51 to 64 seats in the 5 southern states combined. This is almost double of the last time, and this is very much in line with their 50 plus target for South India this time, which the NDA had fixed in their internal meetings. So obviously the biggest gain is coming from Andhra, where the NDA is winning 19 to 22 seats, which our exit poll is showing, and the YSRCP is being reduced to just 5 to 8 seats in the Lok Sabha. So clearly there was a big anti-incumbency against the YSRCP. One of the smartest alliances by the NDA, by the BJP in this election, was to tie up with Chandrababu Naidu, because if both the parties had contested separately, that anti-incumbency would also have been would have got divided. So in a way, both the parties coming together have cashed that anti-incumbency against the Jagan government, and that is why we are seeing 19 to 22 projection in Andhra. If these results hold true, this is the big step in South India by the BJP. BJP is only contesting 6 seats. I think they're hopeful of winning at least 3 to 4 of them. Also in Tamil Nadu, we are projecting that NDA could open its account with 1 to 3 seats, and Kerala also similar 1 to 3 seats. So if even a couple of seats are won each in Kerala and Tamil Nadu with a good vote share, it could be very big.
Well, while the seat could only be one, in Kerala or Tamil Nadu, the headlines are definitely going to be dominated even by that one seat, because it's a prestige matter and it's about breaking open the politics of Tamil Nadu and Kerala for the BJP. Certainly in Kerala, where they've never won before, and in Tamil Nadu, they've won maybe I think once or twice before, but never really consistently, even on those seats. 2014 they had one MP, but then nothing in from
nothing in 19. Yeah, 14 they won one.
Yeah, I just want to focus a little bit once again on Telangana, Aman. So we are giving the numbers of 2 to 5 seats for the BRS with a vote share of 21%. So their vote share is going to come down actually massively. I think I was comparing it to the state results that recently came out. But take a look at this. Last time, the BRS from the 17 seats in from Telangana had 9. The BJP had 4 and the Congress had 3. The AIMIM had 1. So that's 9 plus 8, 17 seats. So the Congress is also gaining and the BJP is also gaining, and both of them are gaining at the expense of the BRS. It looks like if these numbers hold true, both have eaten into their vote share of the BRS.
Absolutely.
But the BJP is turning out to be the larger beneficiary, which I think it was the question that all of us were asking when we were on field in Telangana as well. Where would the BRS vote go? And it seems like the BRS voter is a little bit closer to the BJP than to the Congress.
That's always been the allegation, that BRS and
BRS
BJP
is closer to the BJP too.
But
I think
BJP
on ground, it makes for a more homogeneous switch for the BRS voter to the BJP than to the Congress party.
It's very surprising. I think it will be very, very disappointing for the Congress party
to not be able to
win the maximum number of seats, because this is a state they just won.
Yeah.
And the new chief minister, dynamic chief minister, many people call him. Also, all these welfare freebie schemes that have been rolled out in Telangana. If even despite all that, BJP wins more seats than the Congress in Telangana.
It's an indictment of that model. But I think what also matters is we've seen this in Karnataka, we've seen this in other states. The national and the state election rhetoric is completely different. Absolutely. So while the public may favor a party like the Congress when it was going for these rhetoric for guarantees in Karnataka and Telangana, because it was a state election. I was saying this earlier, Aman, on our national TV coverage as well. One of the big differences I have found, and I think it's a welcome, refreshing change that is yet to be understood. The electorate is very, very mature today about the fact that, see, when you're choosing the national government, you are not choosing it on issues of roti, kapda, makan alone, or sadak, or pani, or bijli. You are choosing it even on issues of national prestige, of cultural prestige, of international glory, of just who is providing a stable leadership. That much was very clear, maybe a little bit more amongst the younger voters, but that sentiment is definitely there. So don't think that the voter, I personally don't believe, this has become the new thing in electioneering right now, Aman, that the public is very this thing that they'll take from the state government also, they'll take from the central government also. I differ in this. I'm not convinced totally about this. I think the public is not just voting for who is giving them what in tangible terms. Yes, schemes matter. Yes, welfareism matters. But I think there are other intangibles that they are voting on. Sense of security, you look at the sense of security around the country, sense of pride, sense of stability, sense of the economic, prowess, even if not, let's say, complete glory. I think all of those things have gone into the decision making by the voter, and this is why I feel that the BJP is likely to gain in states or areas where the traditional dominant party or the regional party may be collapsing, and in a national election, the electorate may favor them over the Congress party.
Absolutely. And Shivani, now we have some new states coming in. So
Yeah.
Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, 3 states whose figures have just, predictions are just in. Very interesting. Delhi, our exit poll is giving 5 to 7 seats to BJP, but a chance to the Congress and the AAP alliance with 0 to 2 seats. So maybe Mr. Kejriwal coming out of jail and campaigning may have had some impact on the chances of the opposition alliance in Delhi.
Yeah.
We also
And also the fact that the AAP and the Congress, putting aside their differences, came together. Now it was difficult for them to do so, but they did manage to do so. So I know the 2 seats that I was being told, for example, Aman, which are tricky for the BJP. One is their Chandni Chowk seat. Praveen Khandelwal was fighting against JP Agarwal, who may not be the biggest face of the Congress party, but is a very, very old
veteran.
hand. As far as Chandni Chowk seat itself is concerned or Delhi politics is concerned, the other was actually Manoj Tiwari's seat. Now, I don't know, towards the end of the last few days of campaigning, there was a sentiment from Manoj Tiwari's camp and the BJP camp that he's managed to wrest this seat. There was a little bit of a struggle, maybe a week to go for polling. But these were the 2 seats that the BJP was nervous about.
It seems that they are both the
I
seats
don't know.
where a chance is being
because
given.
I don't know which other seat could be tricky for the BJP. So 5 to 7 is what our poll is giving. So the India Alliance could manage to win 2. So I think the 2 fights are the ones on these seats. Other than that, despite the fact that the BJP wholesale changed, barring Manoj Tiwari, all of their candidates and sitting MPs, some didn't want to fight, some were not chosen again. That may have worked for the BJP also.
Absolutely, and that could be a setback because obviously there was anti-incumbency against the existing MPs of BJP in Delhi. That's why they had to change 6 out of the 7 candidates that they were putting in this time. But I think the BJP would be very, very disappointed if they lose even 1 seat in Delhi.
It's a prestige issue.
It's a prestige issue in the national capital, and BJP has been doing this clean sweep of Delhi for the last 2 elections. So it would be a big setback to them.
And imagine what it would do to the AAP and the Congress if they manage to win even 1 seat. The AAP is already, apart from Mamata Banerjee's TMC, that one party that fights the BJP and fights the BJP how, right? They're at each other's throat. They never shy away from a fight. Look at what Arvind Kejriwal was saying or doing when he was out on his interim bail. He's supposed to go back to jail tomorrow. But if they manage to win even 1 seat, this would, give both AAP and the Congress the confidence to continue this template.
Absolutely.
Delhi elections are coming up soon after the national
They
elections.
might contest in an alliance in the assembly elections as well if they manage to win 1 to 2 seats. I think even if they don't win, they will still want to contest in an alliance because that is the best chance that they have against a resurgent BJP, I would say, in this Delhi assembly elections next time. But it's, I think, a huge thing. Delhi is a big story, and I think Haryana is an even bigger story, Shivani.
Yeah, tell me.
Haryana, out of the 10 seats on offer in Haryana, our poll is predicting only 5 to 7 seats for the BJP, 3 to 5 seats for the Congress. That's huge because Haryana is another state where BJP did a clean sweep the last time, and this time there has been anger against the BJP in Haryana due to various issues, the farmer protests. The Chief Minister, Mr. Manohar Lal, had to be changed by the BJP in the middle of the Lok Sabha election campaign when it was about to begin. And I went to Haryana for a couple of days to areas like Rohtak, and one of my colleagues, Anand, they had also gone for 3 days to other parts of Haryana. And there was this sentiment there, and I think Rohtak is one seat where definitely Dipinder Hooda is winning in this election. There could also be trouble for the BJP in, I would believe, Hisar and even Karnal for that matter, where Manohar Lal Khattar is fighting, because there has been a lot of anger against Manohar Lal Khattar. So Haryana is a big story. losses for the BJP. Our exit poll is predicting at least 3 to 4 seats could be lost by the BJP in Haryana, and the Congress could gain 3 to 4 seats. This is also a big fillip to the Congress ahead of the Haryana Assembly elections, which are scheduled in the next 4 months.
Haryana has been a bit of a troubled area for the BJP, right? They always are seeming to be firefighting in the state. They
tried a new politics was tried there, non-Jat politics by the BJP, by putting in Manohar Lal as the chief minister. The first time a non-Jat had become a chief minister in Haryana, and the BJP tried this, but I think that politics has, outlived its utility in a way. So BJP had to come back to Nayab Singh Saini, who's an OBC leader now this time. But the opposition, I think, is playing the Jat politics very effectively under Bhupender Hooda and Dipender Hooda.
We've got Punjab numbers. Aman, you know Punjab very well. So I come to you on the Punjab numbers. Punjab numbers are saying Congress 8 to 10. Remember here, AAP and Congress fought separately. So Congress 8 to 10, 41% of the vote share. Aam Aadmi Party 0 to 1. And BJP 2 to 4. BJP 2 to 4.
Expected lines, Shivani.
And others 0 to 1. So I'm guessing the SAD is 0 to 1.
SAD is 0 to 1. SAD only has the chance in Bathinda seat where Harsimrat Kaur Badal is contesting. The sitting two-time MP is contesting. Congress, AAP has been a story of, I would say, complete disaster in Punjab. In 2 years ago, they came with this huge margin of seats, 90 plus seats. They won almost 85% of the seats, literally swept the assembly elections. Within 2 years, I am seeing Punjabis have given up on AAP. They feel AAP has not delivered on the ground, and that is why I'm seeing AAP only 0 to 1 seat. This one seat may also be Sangrur, which is the Bhagwant Man's home seat. This is the seat where I think the only seat where AAP has a chance. Congress 8 to 10, very much on the lines. Congress last time had also won 8 seats in Punjab. Congress is taking advantage of the anti-incumbency against the AAP government, which has already set in. BJP 2 to 4 is because BJP has chosen very, very good candidates in this election. It is basically their candidate selection in Punjab is excellent, be it Taranjit Singh Sandhu in Amritsar, be it Praneet Kaur from the Congress in Patiala. So, these, some of the, I would say, Congress turncoats joining BJP, BJP has very effectively used them. Even the Jalandhar seat is strong for the BJP.
So does the Taranjit Singh Sandhu kind of choice work? Because, he's a more, diplomat, intellectual kind of
No, Shivani, he has a very deep connection with Amritsar. That's what many people don't know.
No, surely he has a connection and he's a Sikh face and everything.
No, it matters. Taranjit Sandhu, in his campaign, I don't know if he'll win or lose, but his campaign was two-pronged. One, he is citing his family history. So his name is now Taranjit Singh Sandhu Samundari. Because his grandfather, Mr. Tara Singh Samundari, is the co-founder of the SGPC. In the entire Golden Temple complex, there is a building named, the SGPC building is named after his grandfather. So he has a deep connection in Amritsar. People remember his family. His father, if I'm not mistaken, was the founder of the Guru Nanak Dev University. He is the VC, for the first VC of Guru Nanak Dev University. And Taranjit Singh Sandhu's campaign, when I spoke to people in Amritsar, and this matters to Punjabis, Shivani, they were telling me कि ये US से आए हैं ना, इनके US में connection हमारे visa करवा देंगे.
Okay, well, that I believe.
This is a big factor in Punjab.
And Canada also.
Canada also. Taranjit Singh Sandhu even was using in his campaign saying, I have connections in US. It's a big, I remember Sunny Deol, the only time I saw him active as an MP was when he was going to MEA to get visas done of Punjabis, of his constituency. So it matters in Punjab. I think 2 to 3 seats BJP will, and remember asking the Prime Minister this question when I told him that BJP is facing a big challenge in Punjab and we have farmer protests. The PM had replied to us in the interview saying, ये BJP के लिए स्वर्णिम काल है पंजाब में BJP के लिए. So many are not giving any chance to BJP, but I think BJP will do well because BJP is anyways strong in the urban areas of Punjab. So the urban centers, be it Ludhiana, Jalandhar, Amritsar, Gurdaspur, Hoshiarpur, they have good presence, and BJP in this election in Punjab, surprisingly, Shivani has also used the Ram Mandir issue very effectively. There is a huge Hindu voter in Punjab which is connecting with the BJP over the Ram Mandir and the issue of Mr. Narendra Modi. I think BJP has done well by breaking away from Akali Dal. That corruption image of Akali Dal which was attached to the NDA has gone away. Harsimrat Badal, yes, could win a seat in Bathinda, but 0 to 1, she may lose it also. So it's a touch and go for them. So I think Punjab is maybe a good success story for the Congress. A disaster for Aam Aadmi Party.
Absolutely. So just quickly recapping some of the latest numbers that have come to us. That includes the Delhi National Capital, 7 seats, 5 to 7 for the BJP. They could actually lose a couple, and that could go in the India Alliance kitty, and or it could not happen also. So it basically indicates that there's a tough fight on at least a couple of seats as far as the Delhi battle is concerned. There is Punjab that we just talked about, big gains for the Indian National Congress there, fighting separately from the Aam Aadmi Party. And the BJP could do well on its own, not in an alliance with the SAD for the first time, 2 to 4 seats for them. This will be a big facelift for the BJP. This will also be, a big talking point if they manage to do so. So I'm showing you Delhi. Let's also talk about Rajasthan. The Rajasthan numbers have come in 18 to 23. Out of the 25 in Rajasthan for the BJP, the vote share continues to be a whopping 62%. Actually, Rajasthan is one of those states that is being talked about of how the BJP could stumble a little bit here. There is a tough fight. There are local issues as far as the Rajasthan is concerned, local anti-incumbency against, their candidates, etc. Some caste issues as well. So this is why even the BJP felt they could lose a few here, maybe a couple, maybe 2 to 3 or a little bit more. But the vote share by which BJP candidates swept the state last couple of elections has been well over 50%. So most of their candidates have won by 50% or 52 or 55%. Some have won by as high as 60 to 62%. So this is why this is interesting that the vote share of the BJP is being shown as 62%, which should mean they should sweep the state. The Congress's vote share has been shown to be 31%, and they've been given anywhere in the bracket of 2 to 7. Now this will be again a success story for the India, not just for the India Alliance, but actually for the Congress per se, if they manage to break the BJP stranglehold in Rajasthan by anything more than 2 to 3 seats. My colleague Pallavi Ghosh is also joining us. Pallavi, we've been talking a lot about how much can the Congress get on its own. So let me just point out some of the highlights for the Congress as far as our exit poll is concerned. You've got in Rajasthan 2 to 7 for the Congress, right? Rajasthan, I was just mentioning, we've been talking about how the BJP could stumble a little bit. You've got Delhi, the India Alliance being shown at 0 to 2. It could be none, but it could also be 2. Punjab 8 to 10 for the Congress party. The Aam Aadmi Party 0 to 1. So it's not all bad for the Congress party as far as some of these states are concerned. We've got Assam numbers also coming in, and then Pallavi can come in with how confident Congress is feeling in, let's say, the direct fights that the Congress has to win against the BJP, which is where they've been massively lagging behind, and of course as part of the alliance too. So in Assam, the NDA numbers are 10 to 13, the India Alliance numbers are 2 to 5. I think the NDA is only gaining a little bit. They had what, 8 last time in Assam, and so they would be happy to gain anywhere from 2 to 3 seats as far as Assam is concerned. Chhattisgarh, BJP could sweep again. Madhya Pradesh, BJP could sweep again. As we were talking, Gujarat, BJP is sweeping again. So let's talk about these numbers. Assam, Rajasthan, if they manage to win more than 2 to 3 seats, they would be happy with that, isn't it?
Yeah, very more than happy. And Rajasthan, I would be very interested in because, the tug of war which takes place between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot. And Sachin Pilot has actively campaigned in large part of the country, of course, and in Rajasthan. So if the Congress party wins these seats, and they are largely in those areas where Pilot campaigned, and if in Chhattisgarh, because he's in charge of Chhattisgarh, and the Congress gets 1 or 2 seats, so
I would poll says 0 to 2.
Yeah, 0 to 2.
So but their vote share is impressive in Chhattisgarh, 43%.
Yeah, so then the credit will be given to Pilot, and then I'm going to watch to see what is going to be Pilot's role in the Congress
You're telling
party.
me the whole thing is going to start again?
The whole thing is it never ended, so it's going to start again. But here's the catch. Now, suppose Amethi observer is Ashok Gehlot, right?
Yeah.
And in case by some fluke the
God.
Congress wins in Amethi, then the battle is going to get even more convoluted. But I have noticed this very interesting trend as far as Rajasthan is concerned. Sachin Pilot's role, which is, he's done almost the same number of rallies as Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra have. Over 101 rallies he's done. And across the states, Himachal, Delhi, Chhattisgarh of course, Rajasthan, down south, also campaigning for Rahul Gandhi in Wayanad, also for Shashi Tharoor in Thiruvananthapuram. There is a Congress election due of the Congress president? Will he be the person? And in case the Congress doesn't do well or India bloc doesn't do well, obviously the Congress will have to go in for a complete makeover. Is it then going to be time for Sachin Pilot finally? His supporters certainly seem to be thinking so, because I've seen a kind of zest and enthusiasm. So that's as far as the Rajasthan numbers go. It's going to be very interesting because the Congress's estimate is, Dausa, Sikar, Churu, Barmer. Interestingly, in all those 4 areas, Shivani, Sachin Pilot was the one who was campaigning. Ashok Gehlot was largely restricting his campaign to his son's constituency. That's what he was told, कि आपके बेटे को जिताना है. Now again, if his son doesn't win, then again this thing will come on Gehlot कि जो अपने बेटे को नहीं जिता पाया, he might as well retire.
Yeah.
That's as far as Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh goes.
Maybe if that does happen, if his son doesn't win, then even Ashok Gehlot, who has been very sturdently fighting for his spot as the numero uno man in Rajasthan politics of the Congress, he would get a hint, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very tough for the Gehlot faction or Mr. Gehlot himself to kind of sustain himself. Remember, he was made the CM last time round on the grounds that I'm going to get to the maximum number of Lok Sabha seats. His son also never won. This time round, when Gehlot opted out, he didn't want to contest, despite the fact that former CMs were asked to contest. He opted out on the ground and give it to my son. So his son was given the ticket, but he was also told, we are giving it to your son, we are making an exception. Bhupesh Baghel, the former CEO of Chhattisgarh, is contesting Lok Sabha. So we are giving it to your son, but you have to ensure that he wins. Now, if he cannot do it, I would say it should be curtains down for Ashok Gehlot, but in the Congress,
you never
know.
Yeah,
you
never know. Really.
But I'm going to watch for Pilot's role. I think he's the kind of guy who's going to be watched out for in the scheme of things in the Congress party.
Okay, interesting. You want to talk a little bit about Punjab also, Pallavi? 8 to 10 seats for the Congress party. This is obviously where there was the pragmatic approach by both the Congress and the AAP to not join forces. It's natural, just like they didn't join forces in Kerala, the LDF and the UDF, because you're the top two, and you wouldn't want to give the BJP, which is the third or the fourth, a chance to become the top two, the main contender. But interestingly for Aam Aadmi Party here, their stocks are going down. There's a bit of an anti-incumbency
It's
against
a worrying
it.
sign for the AAP, certainly, because this is their first Lok Sabha elections after coming to power in the state.
And after the highs of the Punjab election.
Yeah, after the highs of the Punjab election. But then, I'm not going to be too surprised by these kind of figures, but I think if in one state the Congress has been able to hold on to its own, it's largely been Punjab. Very aggressive campaign. And again, they've got the top guns going. And also, they've lost a couple of people. Ravneet Singh Bittu, one of the closest persons to Rahul Gandhi, has joined the BJP. So I'm not too surprised by the Punjab results for the Congress party. I kind of expected it. In fact, if it goes below that, I would be very, very surprised. So again, I'm not very surprised, but AAP, because AAP is facing a lot of problems. They don't have money, then there are those drug issues, then somehow they seem to have lost their mojo. And this could be churning out, it should be churning out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, really, whether there's going to be this call that, whether the CM should be replaced. I mean, I guess that's an Aam Aadmi Party thing. So clearly, nothing has worked for AAP in Punjab.
They certainly haven't been able to capitalize on their successes.
I mean, and for a party which is in power in a state, they should have been able to.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, for example, the other example is Telangana, where the Congress came to power recently. Our exit polls don't show them as the single largest party, but they are capitalizing on what is largely the BRS's decline in Telangana. It seems like, as far as our exit poll numbers are concerned, we are flipping them on the screen, and I'll go back to Telangana in just a bit. But BJP is emerging as the single largest party, which was their big goal in Telangana. If that happens, that will be a headline too. Let's focus a little bit on the larger numbers that we're getting right now. So, we're well past the halfway mark. I think we're close to the 400 out of 543 mark. Yes, 396 out of 543 mark, out of 396, so let's say roughly 400. The BJP is already at 250, 260. But you look at the India Alliance numbers, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's not. But see, many of us who were looking at the beginning of this election, when we all started traveling, Shivani, we thought it's going to be a thanda election. So boring, ekdam ek tarfa hoga. But you see the campaign, the India bloc seemed to have got their mojo in.
Somewhere
down the line.
After the first one or two phases.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were very aggressive. They were very smart also, I would say, that they were doing it state by state, I mean, at many states where the allies are strong, they're letting the allies do the talking. So you have and then, like for example, in UP, towards the end, you saw Rahul Gandhi doing 1 or 2 joint rallies with Akhilesh Yadav, not trying to steal the scene from him. Same in Bihar, it was very clear that Tejasvi Yadav could get the number. So let him, take the stage and let him be the main person, and so on and so forth. Bengal, of course, is a completely different story. So I think they were very aggressive. They were very aggressive on the social media, their campaigns, and therefore it is a very interesting election. It certainly did not end the way it began, as being a Thanda election.
No, I remember when I went to UP, for example, before the first phase, the India Alliance was nowhere to be seen.
See?
They hadn't done, before the first phase, Akhilesh Rahul hadn't even done that press conference that eventually happened just before voting, I think, in the first phase in Ghaziabad, right? They hadn't done any rallies. Akhilesh, I'd gone to Pilibhit in that region, and Akhilesh had done one rally in Pilibhit. That took towards the end of the campaigning in the first phase. But I think they kicked up a little bit. Then Akhilesh, of course, fought as far as Kannauj is concerned.
But that also has an impact.
That has an impact.
And also the fact that Rahul Gandhi also, Akhilesh did say, right, that I suggested to Rahul Gandhi ki, everyone
that's why
contest.
The fact that Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi took as long as they did to decide whether they're fighting or not, if so, from where, was seen as a Congress faux pas, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm no one to suggest that, but I think, frankly,
like we said on our national coverage, she's the Congress insider.
No, but the thing is that I think, Shivani, it's a tactical mistake. If Rahul Gandhi is going to be giving up on Rai Bareli because he'll need to keep Wayanad because Kerala elections are there, then why shouldn't Priyanka Gandhi Vadra have contested in the first place?
Yeah,
she could have contested from, say,
what is this thing about Priyanka Gandhi and how they keep saving her and how they don't want her first election or her electoral foray to be a loss? I think that's the mental block.
Shivani, don't you think if she would have contested from Rai Bareli and Rahul Gandhi from Wayanad,
she would have
won Rai Bareli aram se? Because when I travel to Rai Bareli, it's like caught in a time machine. It is a place which still talks about Indira Gandhi legacy, that Sonia Gandhi is not well, to wo chunav nahi lad rahi hai, and then the daughter. Because, it's so interesting, I would find more posters of a Priyanka and Indira Gandhi and a Sonia Gandhi.
Because she looks like her.
She looks like her, she dresses like her, and she's always been involved in Rai Bareli when her mother was there, She used to run those NGOs and so on and so forth. So, she was a natural choice. So, she contests from there, KL Sharma does it from Amethi, Rahul Gandhi sticks to Wayanad. Someone tells me, no, the logic is we don't want all the Gandhi family in the parliament together. That doesn't make sense, it's okay. Why do we apologetic? So, I mean,
I have never really understood this. When is this Brahmastra finally getting to get loaded?
You stop becoming a Brahmastra after some time.
Yeah, I think the Barood goes bad.
But, because her campaigning, in stark contrast to Rahul Gandhi, is definitely more aggressive. She is a very good communicator.
Yeah.
She knows the tricks of the trade about kaise camera mein dekhna hai, how to woo the media, be that kind of savvy, and the usual, the nataks and dramas which elections requires. She would do that, right? And very easy with sound bites. I was just checking the figures. Rahul Gandhi has done only one small interview. Priyanka has done 7, and she has done 100 bites. Okay, and Rahul Gandhi has done only 5 bites.
Right. Okay. And did no interviews at all.
No interviews at all. That's not a good strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all very well to go on abusing the media, but you do an interview. I mean, you can mock the Prime Minister.
Can I just say, it's very interesting because the BJP was the first of the bloc when it came to the whole social media prowess, right? In 2014, they took the social media game to new heights, and then everybody was caught in their wake and wondering, oh my God, what did they do? Other parties caught up on the social media. Now, Narendra Modi is known for the fact, Pallavi, and you interviewed Narendra Modi, but Narendra Modi is known for the fact that he has kind of he was accused of cutting off the media and the press because, let's say, quote unquote, doesn't give press conferences, didn't give many interviews. And he has, I think, been on record to say that I can communicate directly to the public. I don't
which
need
he does. Even the Ban Ki Baat, the radio.
Yeah. But even somebody like that, who has the BJP machinery, the government machinery, he's the sitting Prime Minister, he has all the expertise, like his team has all the expertise to get his message across to the public. Even he did interviews.
And
but
so
Rahul
many.
Gandhi didn't.
And he's done interviews very systematically. Whichever state was going to go to polls, whose state ke local newspapers, uske channels.
There was a strategy, right?
There was a strategy, stage by stage. Like he gave me that interview in Bengal. In
absolutely.
Kolkata. That was a part of the strategy. I'm a Bengali, I'm a woman, and I don't cover the BJP. So see how well thought out. These things are very planned. That is what I think it was a missed opportunity. And frankly speaking, Shivani, many people close to Rahul Gandhi also now admit that maybe it was a mistake on hindsight. he should have given 2-3 structured interviews.
Yeah. I mean,
Last
yes.
elections he gave, right?
Yeah, and everybody is accused, every leader is accused that, oh, you speak to the ones who are already a little bit close to you, and people who already like you a little bit more than others. Like, nobody gives an interview to be grilled anymore. And let's face it, the reality,
Which is fair enough, I guess.
which is fair enough, and let's face it, our media today, the landscape that exists today, I'm sure it's a temporary phase, is just of the kind where media has also got divided into two blocks very,
Yeah.
very clearly, right? So everybody knows, where you stand or what you stand for. So leaders will naturally choose who you want to speak to. There's no harm, but at least you should be seen talking to your constituency.
Absolutely.
You
I
shouldn't
agree.
be seen, you may not be able to change somebody else's mind because you're speaking to a select group of people who already have a certain point of view, who already have a certain kind of audience, but at least address those audiences.
No, but Shivani, see, nowadays everything is on WhatsApp, Instagram,
Yeah.
So you're giving an interview, it's no longer restricted to a channel you're giving it to.
Yeah.
Everyone picks it up, everyone watches it. Now look at Priyanka's, look, the amount of hits it got. She gave 3 sit-downs and all 3 were done in Raebareli, and it got a lot of views. So what happens? People make clips and WhatsApp and distribute hota hai, and you do that. I mean, that is a trick of the trade.
It's actually strange you mentioned that because she actually is the face in Raebareli. So is it like a pre-planned strategy that Rahul Gandhi will have to give up Raebareli and eventually Priyanka will have to step in?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
let's build the
but
road for
why
her
do you
now.
need to build this kind of stuff now? Why not just contest, right?
Yeah.
Because then you are going to lose out on another big narrative. That Raebareli is just, you kept the seat warm for Rahul Gandhi and you're not serious. So it is going to be very damaging then for the Congress party in case Priyanka contests from Raebareli in place of Rahul if he steps down from there next time round. And the assembly elections. उसमें भी ये होगा, ये भगोड़े हैं, he runs away. Those kind of words will be used for him.
Well, I think if he leaves from Raebareli after such a dilly-dally and all of that, and then flipping from Amethi to Raebareli, if he leaves from Raebareli, I don't think Rahul Gandhi can contest again in UP.
I think it will be very difficult for even the Congress party to put up a serious candidate from UP anymore.
Barring Raebareli.
Barring Raebareli.
If Priyanka was to step
See, but
in
look
and
at the
win
BJP
bypoll.
has not put up an aggressive fight in Raebareli. I think they're keeping it for the next time round, like they did in Amethi. So, so we know how Smriti Irani came and she lost once, but then she comes in. Same they'll do in Raebareli. They will see to it, and you don't blame the BJP as a political party if they want Raebareli to go.
No, they are going to go for it, and they don't believe in that whole thing. Like for example, when I was covering Hyderabad also. Now Hyderabad is that seat. Nobody really gives a fight to Asaduddin Owaisi, right? Nobody really gave the fight to the Gandhis in Raebareli or Amethi till BJP said why? Why should they be bastions? And this time around in Hyderabad, they gave a fight to Asaduddin Owaisi, right? With Madhvi Lata. She may not win. The demographics are such.
But the fact that they carry the message
the fact that they
किसी का एक की जागीर नहीं है.
exactly
Yeah,
their
you're right,
message is that
absolutely.
we will go for everything for the last seat. We will not even let you have that one seat in Uttar Pradesh that you're reduced to, right? And if AIMIM has that one seat in Telangana, we will go for that also. Why should it be considered that there's no point putting up a candidate here? Interesting story about Hyderabad, though I should share, Pallavi. I was told that the plan was to field a Muslim woman candidate by the BJP.
अच्छा.
They were looking for a Muslim woman candidate, but they couldn't find one who was willing
Really?
they couldn't find one who was willing to fight
Owaisi.
was willing to fight Owaisi. Now that could be for two reasons. One, that maybe you were uncomfortable because you didn't want to take on Owaisi as a Muslim woman. You know the dynamics of the Muslim politics in Hyderabad, but particularly old Hyderabad. And second is that this was not a winnable fight. Not everybody has the stomach for a losing fight. So then they wanted an SC/ST woman. They couldn't get one. And that is how Madhvi Lata came to be chosen.
But she stood up on her own.
She stood up.
She's
And
given a
BJP
lovely flavor to that campaign.
Absolutely. And she's a firebrand leader. I heard her speeches. She definitely has the presence. She's that quintessential firebrand leader. And the way she talks to Muslim women in Hyderabad, because she grew up in old Hyderabad too. I sense that even BJP leaders have a sense of nervousness talking about Muslims and Islam. But she has no fear. She will say, Islam ye bolta hai kya? Islam ye bolta hai kya?
Being a woman, I think she
Can also do
she
that.
used that.
Yeah. So she obviously has a connect to the Muslim community there in Hyderabad. She's grown up amongst them and she's fearless. And BJP is a party that rewards the kind of fighters who have the stomach to take on a non-winnable fight, like Smriti Irani. She didn't have a winnable fight when she took
But
on
look, she
Rahul Gandhi
won.
one term ago.
I know people would mock her.
Yeah, she
And
was
look.
mocked.
And look where she is today.
Yeah, and she was rewarded because she took that fight on. Not many have the stomach, and I see that something like that could happen for Madhvi Lata too, because I think they couldn't find a woman face from the appropriate background that they wanted to find, and then she stood up for that because she's not a BJP member, mind you.
Okay, that's interesting.
She wasn't a BJP member when she was given a ticket, so she was kind of brought on from outside. She was never in politics. She runs a hospital in Hyderabad.
She's super confident. I saw her in Banaras also, where she
Yeah.
was actually singing and
Yeah.
very bindas.
Yeah, she's very bindas, very firebrand, and certainly one of those leaders, women leaders who could rise in days to come because they have a stomach for a fight. They don't shy away, and they're hardworking. I saw her obviously campaigning. You know, quintessential moment from the polling day in Hyderabad when Madhvi Lata went to polling booths and told Muslim women to remove their burqa and
Yeah,
shirwani.
I saw. Yeah, control.
How many candidates have the gumption to do that? She did it. And one of her poll plans in Hyderabad was that there is bogus voting that happens in Hyderabad, which has been alleged in the past also. You know, so she may land in trouble and controversies, but she's not afraid.
But she made her point.
Yeah, she made a point and she's not afraid of her controversies, and I think the BJP rewards candidates like
I
that,
think.
even if they don't win. Alright, let's focus on the big overall national numbers. Like I said, 396 out of 543, 250 to 260 for the NDA. This is already, if we do a breakup, then the BJP would be reasonably happy with the number that this is, because this isn't the full Bihar, UP and Bengal numbers. And both in UP and in Bengal, and Pallavi will talk about Bengal a little bit more, they are hoping for an increase from the last time around. They are hoping to increase from 18 to more in Bengal from 2019 to 2024, and also in Uttar Pradesh from the 62 that they had plus more that they won in by-polls in UP from 2019. So Tamil Nadu, big breakup, let's do one more time. We've got BJP alone at 209 to 219. So they've still got about 120 to win if they want to achieve their target of 350 that they've set for themselves. INC, the Congress numbers out of these numbers, Pallavi, is 60 to 65, which I think they will take from both hands. These are not the full numbers right now, but if they manage to touch anything over 55, I think they'll take with both hands, isn't it?
About Kolkata, you're talking about Bengal?
No, I'm talking about Congress overall nationally.
Yeah.
Currently, our numbers are putting them at 60 to 65 out of
No,
the
but
India tally.
But I don't know whether the Congress own internal assessment is 80 to 110.
They could get there because
They
these are
could
not
get
full
there,
numbers.
which is huge.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is going to be really huge.
That's
if
what
they
I'm
do
saying.
that.
They'll take 60 with both hands.
Yeah,
Because
so which
they're-
is not too bad for them. See, 60 is just a little over what they already have. So if they get even 80,
That's almost double of what they had.
yeah.
Almost.
No, but the biggest part is that if they get 80, they get to be the leader of the
Opposition.
which
Which
they never
is
got
what
this
they've
time
been
around.
mocked about, na? That
Yeah.
you haven't even got
Which is
enough.
what the PM would always tell them. कि
Yeah.
आप तो leader of opposition भी यही जीत पाए. So at least they'll get that one seat. That is
Yeah.
why it matters to them.
Yeah.
And I know Parliament में फिर मजा आएगा because it will be fun to cover a Parliament where
Yeah,
you have this.
unlike what the scenario the BJP built, which is 400 par for them,
Yeah.
so then, virtually any opposition or any criticism in Parliament, including the not so desirable, disruptions in Parliament will be stopped. If the INC manages about 80, the India bloc manages about 140, 150, then you've got
Yeah, and
you've got a fight.
if the TMC does reasonably better than what they did last time round, if they're able to contain the BJP, that will also be very interesting. They'll be very aggressive. So they will be, the Prime Minister is going to come up with some very, very, I'm presuming there's a third term for the BJP, if you go by these numbers. He is certainly going to come up with some of those important bills, One Nation, One Poll, UCC. That is going to stoke a lot of controversy inside the Lok Sabha. So that's going to be fun for us to watch media, to watch the scenes. It'll be fun to cover that. So I'll be...
Okay, so why don't we talk about West Bengal? Pallavi knows the state very well. West Bengal, we have the numbers from the first three phases. Pallavi, as we are showing, the 10 seats that went to polls in the first three phases in West Bengal, out of the 42, The BJP is winning 6 to 9 out of them, TMC 3 to 6. But this is on par for the course, isn't it? Because the BJP did win a lot of these north central seats last time
so
around.
North Kolkata, North Bengal is kind of their thing, but Kolkata and all these areas are where TMC is very strong. Look, the thing I got on the ground is, and which is what I was talking about on TV also, that we love to talk, okay? Bengalis love to chat. And you know, having those endless cups of chai and minus a camera, because they won't recognize me, so I just chit chat with them. So then they would start talking. This time round, I noticed that they don't even want to do that because they don't know which party. They think that I may be coming on behalf of a party. I may be a TMC worker, and I'm trying to kind of, you know, they don't want to be marked, and so that fear is there. You know, let's be honest. Whichever party is in power in a state, people are going to be wary of that. So anyone who wants to vote for the BJP will not want to be marked. You know, so that's why they were very, very...
They don't want to disclose their choice.
Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want the TMC to know that, okay, so and so, you know, vox pop, hum to karke chale aayenge and we'll have to suffer. They have to tell me that. They have to live with that. And so I found them very silent, which is some reason why many in the TMC are also a little worried. The silence of the voters. What does it mean? Are they thinking of doing something which the TMC hopes that they don't do? That is one factor. And also the Lok Sabha, they vote differently. I mean, there's no doubt about the fact that there is a law and order issue. This poll violence is, I mean, I know Bengal has always actually, contrary to what people think, has gone through a lot of poll violence. Whether it's the left, whether it's the TMC now. So that factor, the need for jobs, a large number of first-time voters would tell me, you know, ma'am, we go to Chennai, Bengaluru, my friends are there. They work in Google and Amazon. We don't have that in Bengal. I asked the PM this question. That's what he tells me. That this is what I want to change. You give me 5 years, I'm going to bring investment in Bengal. Sirf investment summit karne se nahi hota. You know, that's what he told me very clearly. So, if those are the factors which work, if there's no intimidation, then I think the BJP's numbers could be a little bit more than what they got last time.
So do you think 42 BJP?
No, let's not give any numbers.
I'm going to raise the day for numbers. So I'm going to take some numbers.
I would say 24 to 25. I wouldn't be too surprised if the BJP gets that.
So single largest party. That would be big.
That would
Bragging
be big.
rights.
See, also
that's what they want to achieve.
But the only thing which Mamata Banerjee is calculating on, she's tucked her sari in literally and taken charge. Last time she made the mistake of underestimating the BJP. That's one. Also, the anti-TMC votes went to the BJP last time round. This time round, what she's also done is smartly allowed the left to rise. So in many areas, I would find those red flags, and there's this whole murmur, I don't know how far it's true, that actually she was helping the left also come out and campaign, funding them and all those kind of stuff. So in many areas, the left was seen. So they are giving a fight, and if the left gives a fight, if the vote share increases, it's bad for the BJP.
So let's look at this, no? This is the result from 2019 Lok Sabha. So I'm talking about the seats, the 10 seats that went to polls in the first few 3 phases. So these are those, right? So obviously BJP won 7 of those already last time around. I think this 1 is of the Congress party, and then you've got, this is the one that we have Isha Khan Chaudhary winning last time around or contesting this time around. And then of course this is the Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary wala seat, that the other one that the Congress won. So this is how it stood last time around. So in the first 3 phases, the BJP would be happy that they're mostly retaining. Why do I say that?
I'm a little worried about Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary because that's a little tough fight. Okay, that's really a tough fight. And when I met him recently, he didn't seem so enthusiastic. He said, "Let me see what will happen." It's the loneliness of Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary because see, no one campaigned for him from the Congress party. No one did.
He's a pariah in his own party.
Which is very strange, you know, Shivani.
Because he didn't follow the party line, no.
No, but Shivani, they let him have a free hand. Every time he attacked Mamata Banerjee, no one stopped him from the Congress. Now the Congress ke liye he's become a pariah because they feel that, you know, just in case we need Mamata Banerjee tomorrow, we don't want to attack her.
Mamata Banerjee blamed him single-handedly.
Exactly, but the Congress kept on supporting. So no one went to campaign. In Bengal, no one from the Gandhi family campaigned. Now what has happened is that the polarization is complete. Yusuf Pathan novelty factor, anti-incumbency factor. All of that is something which makes this election really tight for Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. It's so interesting. BJP tells me Adhir Da is going to win. TMC tells me Adhir is going to lose. So we know where his support coming in from. Yeah.
All right, but this is just a take about the vote share where it stood. Very little difference between the TMC and the BJP last time around, and that is obviously in the seats as well. 2 went to the Congress Plus, which of course includes the left as well. The left vote share has crashed over the last few years, which is why something like a party like the BJP has managed to come up. So this is where it stood last time around. I just wanted to show you that. And go back to our numbers where the first 10 seats out of the first 3 phases, it is showing 3 to 6 for the TMC and 6 to 9. So virtually the same for the BJP as last time around. Maybe they are gaining one as well because the INC seems to be losing both their seats, the INC plus left. So at least as far as this poll is concerned, we don't have the full numbers. It could be trouble. For the INC left.
Is very, very, Behrampur actually, more than Murshidabad, Behrampur is Adhi's constituency. It's still tight mamla, Malda also. Because see, what the TMC done this time round is that they've not given easy way to Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. Say, put up Yusuf Pathan, cricketer, Bengalis love sports, Muslim hai, all those kind of factors. He began on a sticky wicket, but towards the end, I saw that his campaign was getting a lot of traction. So sometimes it's just a fatigue which makes you, you know, kind of...
Okay. I want to very quickly refresh our numbers because I think we've got fresh numbers that show a full tally yet to get. Let me just quickly go through this. The other two states which have seen multiple phase elections are obviously Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. So we have numbers for the first 3 phases from there as well. I'll just quickly read that out. Uttar Pradesh. Okay, we've got the full Uttar Pradesh numbers now. All right, we've got the full Uttar Pradesh, full Bengal and full Bihar numbers now. Okay, let's talk about Bengal. 18 to 21 for TMC, 40%, 21 to 24 for BJP, 43%.
My thing was on 24 to 25 for the BJP.
So you could be absolutely bang on, Pallavi.
I think the BJP...
And vote share is higher than the TMC.
Yes, I'm not surprised by these figures at all. I do expect the BJP to do well, better than last time round. The silence is hurting the TMC.
So the reason why somebody would vote for the BJP or change their vote so drastically, because in Bengal, you know, we were told it doesn't really happen and people get set in their voting patterns. If they voted for the left for 30 years, then it was the left. If they voted for TMC for what now already 10 plus 12 years, then they vote for the TMC. So it's not very easy for a party like the BJP especially to break through. They've obviously done it in Tripura in the past. What is the reason why BJP is gaining ground and the TMC is losing
the thing is that I think Mamata Banerjee broke the left. It's not that the left continued because people kept on loving the left. They were looking for an alternative. Till they are not very sure of Mamata Banerjee, they did not want to vote for the TMC. But slowly by slowly, TMC was cutting into the left votes. That's exactly what happened. See, at the state level, the BJP had made some big mistakes. You know, those Didi campaigns, then the infighting. I saw that infighting this time round, but in an assembly election, it hurts more. In Lok Sabha, it doesn't hurt that much.
Yeah, you can ride over those differences because you've got the PM on the ticket.
Exactly. So, I told you that jobs. Sandesh Khali and women utra nahi. Jobs is a big factor. There is no investment happening there.
You know, it's so interesting you mentioned that because jobs is the one thing the India Alliance uses to attack the BJP-led, PM-led NDA.
And it works for the BJP.
Because it works for in everywhere else. In Bengal, it works for them because TMC is in power and they see BJP as the hope potentially. But everywhere else in the country, jobs is the one issue they attack the BJP
But you know what, I found this also, like when I was travelling in UP and all, they were telling me in a limited way, they were telling me that, you know, we are concerned about jobs, we're concerned about price.
No, absolutely. I said this, I think, on a national coverage as well. The problem for the opposition is that while there are issues, people will say jobs is an issue. And jobs is an issue, not maybe just the quantity of jobs available, but people want better jobs. And in India, there is no denying that people also want government jobs. Government jobs are not going to increase. I don't see them increasing in a way where till the BJP is in power, because the BJP's economic politics is very different. They're not going to, you know, start increasing the size of government and government jobs to keep people happy. That's why they encourage mudra loans, they encourage startups, they encourage entrepreneurship because they want jobs to shift there instead of government job reliance. But you know people want government jobs. So jobs is a refrain, inflation, price rise would be a refrain on ground. But they're not necessarily saying, the public on ground is not necessarily saying that, oh, we are voting for the India Alliance because we want these issues to be resolved or these issues to be solved. That is the problem for the India Alliance. Economically, on issues of actual livelihood and economics, they've not been able to convince the voter that we are the alternative to Narendra Modi. Now, they may have some other factors going for them, for example, polarization. So, Muslim vote may consolidate for them even further. Wherever they fight. It may not matter which party is fighting on the India banner, it may not matter which candidate is fighting on the India banner. I think the Muslim vote or the non-BJP vote is going to consolidate behind an India Alliance candidate. And they've got some other issues going for them, maybe welfareism, some of the schemes for them. But economic issues or livelihood issues and delivery issues are not working for them because they look at the BJP and Modi predominantly as the person who can deliver for them.
Exactly.
That is the problem. Big numbers also coming in from Uttar Pradesh. We've discussed West Bengal, big numbers where the BJP could emerge as the single largest party with a vote share greater than the TMC, which is going to be pretty big if this holds true. Uttar Pradesh. Let's talk about Uttar Pradesh. These are the overall numbers now that are coming in from Uttar Pradesh. The NDA at 68 to 71. Small range, but the outer limit being 71 only, not 75 as the BJP would have hoped. 49% is the vote share, which will be reasonable for them. 9 to 12 for the India Alliance with a 34% vote share. 0 seats for the BSP this time. They won 10 last time when they were in alliance with the SP. So they won 15. BSP won 10, Samajwadi Party won 5. Others not winning anything. So this is big, this is huge again for the India Alliance. And in this case, the alliance of Samajwadi Party and the Congress Party that fought in Uttar Pradesh because they wanted to dent the BJP. I don't think they will be able to dent the BJP from the 2019 tally, but they will be able to, according to these numbers, restrict the BJP so that it's not like a sweep that they were thinking of at one point of time.
Yeah, absolutely. But see, the UP numbers are again very interesting. 9 to 12 for India front. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I was giving 1 to...
exactly what I'm saying, that they're not allowing the BJP to sweep.
Yeah.
Which many contended that they might.
9 to 12 I think is a bit too much for the India front.
It could be Samajwadi Party predominantly.
Yeah.
Not the Congress. Because there were many...
I would still put the numbers a little higher for the BJP in UP.
NDA.
I would put it at
because some of their NDA issues were also sorted this time. They had... Okay, let's talk about Bihar as well. Bihar, the NDA again, they had swept last time around, barring that one seat of Kishanganj. And 31 to 34 this time though, out of 39?
And the 6 to 9 would be largely Tejasvi Yadav.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Largely the RJD.
Largely,
It could be that the JDU is bringing them down in Bihar, right?
Yeah, it could be. And because JDU, that was the sense even the BJP had, that JDU is going to bring us down, which is why I think the Prime Minister insisted on doing a couple of joint rallies to at least notch up the JDU numbers, because there are pockets where JDU, because of the caste factor, is powerful, and where it feels that, if I don't go there, then I'm not able to bring up the numbers. So they're going to try at that. But 31 to 34, well.
Okay, let's look at these numbers, Pallavi, because this is the final stretch now. We've got the pan-India numbers, 543 out of 543, and the big numbers are saying that it is indeed, abki baar, teesri baar sarkar, 355 to 370 though for the NDA. 47% of the national vote, 355 to 370 for the NDA. Out of this, 305 to 370, 305 to 315, 40% of the vote share is the BJP's alone. So they could, according to our numbers, go higher than their tally of 303 last time around, which in itself I think would be good for the BJP in the sense that they would be happy with it, not entirely happy, but because at least the numbers have not come down from last time around. And overall, 355 to 370 for the BJP. 370 would be a good number that they would want to touch, although the target that they set internally for the BJP was 370. India Alliance at 125 to 140, others at 42 to 52, but the Congress at 62 to 72. So just falling short of that hope full mark of 80. Maybe they
So
settle
their own
around
estimate
70.
is around 80. Their own estimate is 80 to 120.
They might settle into 70 maybe.
Well, I mean, it's not
65 to
as bad
70.
a performance if it was anything less than
They're not
60.
getting wiped out.
Yeah, they're not getting wiped out. So, which means that, you know, this is how they're going to see themselves, that, you know, their one-on-one fights, the the Congress party is something which cannot be wished away. And you live for another day.
Well, certainly they would say that we've come back to a certain extent. Not enough. DMK and INC in Tamil Nadu is 39 to 36. No surprises there. The AIA DMK could get wiped out, or they could manage to hold on to just 2. NDA, the big news from some of the southern states earlier, when these numbers first broke on our network, is 1 to 3 for the NDA and 20% of the vote share in Tamil Nadu. Now, if they manage to win even one, it's a prestige issue, depending on which seat especially. But if they manage to swing 3 seats in Tamil Nadu, then it's big news for them. Similarly, in Karnataka, UDF 15 to 18, not surprising at all. 2 to 5 for the LDF, not that surprising again. The UDF, which is led by the Congress, swept Kerala last time around as well. Although the buoyancy last time around was because Rahul Gandhi was contesting from Wayanad for the very first time, and there was hope that the Prime Minister could be from Kerala. That hope was certainly not there on ground anymore. There was a little bit of resignation to the fact that jeetna to Modi ko hi hai, but I think given Kerala what it is.
I want to see what happens to Shashi Tharoor though.
Well, Shashi Tharoor, the Trivandrum seat, I did cover.
So what's the sense you got?
No, so it's very difficult to get a sense, in the sense that, again, people don't always disclose very openly that, this time around we are thinking of the BJP. They don't say that to you. Right? Shashi Tharoor continues to be a very popular figure in Trivandrum. He's done most of his politics from there. He, lives there. He's that international face.
And he goes there very often. Trivandrum has a lot of young population also. So.
No, Trivandrum actually, that pocket has a lot of retirees. So they're very set in their ways. And because, as far as young people are concerned, they move out of Trivandrum either for other districts in Kerala for studies, or outside of Kerala for studies. So you don't see that many young people, but you do see Shashi Tharoor being pretty popular still. But this is that one seat in Kerala where the BJP was second out of all the 20 seats in Kerala. And this is that one seat where they had a vote share of in excess of 30%. They were very close to the Congress last time around. Last time around, the contest was not that high profile in Trivandrum. So Shashi Tharoor managed to improve what was his vote share and winning margin from 2014 to 2019. 2014, he told me, interestingly, he has been a 3-time sitting MP, but he told me that 2014 was his toughest fight. And he said that because there was a Modi wave and my wife death story, I was being hounded on that.
Yeah, I know. He rarely talks about that though, increasingly. But yeah, now he has begun to.
Yeah, so he did mention very candidly when I asked him whether this is your toughest fight yet, because BJP's put up a star star candidate in many ways, a union minister, minister of state against you, and they're kind of again that BJP mindset where they give you a fight. It's not like it's a dundil ki yahan se to Shashi Tharoor ko hi jeetna hai. तो उन्होंने किया वहाँ पे भी fight, but Shashi Tharoor said that my toughest fight was 2014. 2014 his vote share came down. His winning margin was very close. Then 2019 he recovered, but 2019 there was no big face that fought against him. So this time around it could be closer, because I do think that even in Kerala there was a sense that national elections is different, state elections is different, and that that hesitancy or that reluctance to accept the BJP is going down. The BJP is managing to do so. That is happening purely because they have already seen Narendra Modi at the center for 10 years. And I didn't sense any great animosity towards Narendra Modi or any reluctance to accept him. People, by and large, like even in Kerala, last time when I went to Tamil Nadu also, when it was about the state elections, there was no sense of, dislike or, hatred against Narendra Modi. as far as this time is concerned. I think people have begun to understand that, you know, we don't have any great issues with him, or we don't really hate him, but whether it fits into our you know, mold of voting is the big issue. You know, in Kerala, the thing is that the BJP, the left and the Congress have had a very set vote share. Now, last time around in the state elections, what had happened was, or in the general elections as well, there was a little bit of sentiment against the left government because of the Sabrimala issue. Now, BJP hoped that that Sabrimala issue is going to benefit them, but actually it benefited the UDF. And then the left came back, it kind of bounced back in the state elections and swept the state elections. But those elections were in 2021. Since then also there is a sense of anti-incumbency that has crept in, particularly in a state like Kerala, retirees not getting their pensions and you know, not really getting to know, getting their accounts or their benefits that they are used to. That has been a big bone of contention, and both the Congress and the BJP have hammered on to the left government as far as Kerala is concerned. Okay, so Kerala numbers, again, if the BJP manages to win one seat, depending on which that seat is, it could be big. If they manage to swing 3, again, that could be very, very big. So this is the numbers from the first 2 southern states. Then very quickly, Karnataka, the BJP could retain as many as 25 that they had won last time around. If you join the JDS, then they had 26, but the Congress could gain about 3 to 7, while the NDA could be restricted to, in their worst case scenario, to about 23. Alright, Andhra Pradesh, the NDA could do very well. They could sweep the state 19 to 22. As far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, where they've come back with the TDP, 61% vote share, that would be quite big. And I don't think they would have achieved that ever as far as the southern state is concerned. Even in northern states, they don't have a vote share as high as 61% in most states. YSRCP could crash 5 to 8. India, not much in contention. 0 seats for the India Alliance, which predominantly means the Congress party here. Telangana is the other big story, 2 to 5 for the BRS, coming down from about 9 last time. BJP could gain as much as 10, which is their upper limit, and 5 to 8 for the Congress. Here, Revanth Revanna is the big name of the Congress party, and there's a lot of capital that Revanna has invested as far as this is concerned, because this is a prestige issue for him as well. Apparently, I was told that there are knives out for Revanth Revanna, and if he falls short of 9 or 8 seats, if you look at the assembly performance, and you know, just a position then for national, then Congress needs to win 9 seats, parliamentary seats, given their performance in the assembly. And many people said that if he doesn't win those 9 seats, there could be knives out for him. Let's also talk about Bihar. Let's go across to my colleague Aman, who's back with us. Aman, Bihar full numbers are out with us. The full national tally actually is out. Let me begin with you with that. 355 to 370 for the NDA, 305 to 315 for the BJP on its own.
Well, that seems a big victory if that happens finally after 2 days when we are sitting together again for the final results. But BJP 305 to 315, Shivani, means BJP will be up from 303 from the last time, definitely around 310, 311.
If they manage to be up from last time, I think they'll be happy, right?
They'll
Just
be
bragging
ecstatic.
rights.
They'll be ecstatic if that happens. A government after 10 years in power, many people say faces pro-incumbency. After 10 years, this faces anti-incumbency. I'm sorry. Modi government seems to be facing pro-incumbency. If this number goes up, NDA 355 to 370 again. NDA the last time was about 352 if I'm not mistaken. So they are also going up. The opposition camp 125 to 140 seats. Congress 62 to 72, so only up from 52 to about 70, 65 seats, about 10, 13, 14 seats more. Not enough, clearly too little, too late I think for the Congress. So Shivani, where are the big gains coming from? Let's go to that. How is the BJP rising from 303 to 305 to 315? The big numbers are coming from the 5 southern states. The BJP won 29 seats the last time there. This time the NDA we are projecting is winning 51 to 64 seats. So almost doubling its tally from the last time. Big gains from Telangana, BJP 7 to 10. Andhra, of course, they're in an alliance with Chandrababu Naidu, so almost sweeping the state, 19 to 22 seats. Kerala and Tamil Nadu, BJP could open its account. Karnataka, it could hold on to its gains. So South India, of course, is the big story for the BJP. The other big story where the gains are coming from is Uttar Pradesh. We are projecting that the NDA could win 68 to 71 seats in Uttar Pradesh. Last time they had won 64 seats. So even if they're winning 68 to 71, let's say 70 seats, it's an up of 6 seats from last time. The opposition camp it will be between 9 to 12 seats. I think most of these seats will be Samajwadi Party will be winning 8 to 9 seats, maybe 1 seat Rai Bareli to Congress. I would assume Uttar Pradesh, the NDA could be winning close to 70 seats, and the rest of the 10 seats could go to the opposition. Big gains, 6 seats from Uttar Pradesh. Southern states, there's a gain. West Bengal, again, because it is
emerging
flipping.
as the single largest
party. Last time TMC had won 22, BJP had won 18. This time we are flipping. BJP could win 21 to 24, so about 22 seats. The TMC could end up between 18 to 21, so about 19 seats. The BJP could become the single largest party. So these are the 3 regions, South India, UP and West Bengal, from where the BJP is making its big gains. Where is the BJP losing now? Let's go to the states. Maharashtra, BJP, NDA could drop to 32 to 35 seats from 41 seats the last time. I think majorly to blame, as we were earlier discussing, the 2 allies which are untested, Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar. So BJP is losing a bit in Maharashtra, 5 to 6 seats.
And in Bihar as well.
In Bihar as well, another key state, BJP, NDA had won 39 seats the last time. This time we are projecting NDA to win 31 to 34. Again, the same problem. Nitish Kumar is weak, giving 16 seats to Nitish Kumar. Nitish Kumar could be losing a considerable number of his own seats. BJP may still retain its tally of 16 out of 16 or 17 fighting this time, but Nitish Kumar could be losing his seats. The India camp at 6 to 9, Tejashwi RJD could be winning a number of seats here. Where else is the BJP losing?
Gujarat
is a clean sweep like last time. BJP is losing in Haryana, another key state. 10 seats. It had won the last time a clean sweep. This time the Haryana mein BJP could be down to 5 to 7 seats. If we say 6 seats also, a loss of 4 seats in Haryana, clear anti-incumbency against the Manohar Lal government, who had to be changed as the CM also. That is costing the BJP. Farmer anger is costing the female wrestlers issue. It's costing the BJP. Haryana is a state. Delhi, 5 to 7 to BJP. So if BJP is even losing 1 seat in Delhi, it will be a big setback, because that could show that maybe Arvind Kejriwal came out and maybe had resonance on some 1 seat. Still 5 to 7, they could be a clean sweep
and that
also.
the AAP Congress alliance could be a viable alliance.
Even for the assembly elections.
Yeah. So the other numbers I want to very quickly mention, Aman. Uttarakhand, BJP sweeping.
Clean sweep, yeah.
Himachal Pradesh,
Clean
BJP sweeping. Here, Mandi was supposed to be a bit of a tough contest, but it could be
I
that
think the sentiment, if it's sweeping 3, it will sweep 4. It's like Himachal is one state which will votes always in one direction. So I think if there's a wave for Modi wave, BJP wave, I think Kangana will also win.
I think the other place where the gains for the BJP are coming from are Odisha. You can look at these numbers here as well, Aman. The BJP 13 to 15 in Odisha. I think they had 8 last time.
Yeah, they had 8.
And then BJD is coming down to 6 to 8. And the vote share of the BJP is also going above BJD. So they are emerging as the single largest party here as well. Nothing for the India Alliance. That just tells you that there are states like Telangana, there are states like Odisha, there are states like West Bengal, where it's not only emerging as the single largest party, but it is also almost decimating the third option. So it's becoming a 2-horse race. In Telangana, it's becoming BJP versus Congress, with BJP as the single largest. In Bengal, it's BJP versus TMC, with BJP as the single largest. In Odisha, it is BJP versus BJD, with BJP as the single largest.
Odisha is also one state where BJP is gaining states. Yeah. So along with UP, Odisha, and West Bengal and the southern states, these are the 4 catchment areas for the BJP as expected, Shivani. We've been talking about this for the last 1 month.
Yeah.
West Bengal, Odisha, southern states and UP will be the states where the gains will come from. So these are the states we're giving. One state where I think the biggest surprise for me be coming from that state is Punjab, where the Congress is expected to win 8 to 10. Last time they had won 8. So if they're going up in Punjab, good news for Congress, at least from one state apart from Tamil Nadu.
But the bigger headline is coming from the BJP in Punjab.
2 to 4. Big time, because BJP was a factor which was, I think, very much underplayed in the Punjab elections. But this time, I think BJP gave, as we were discussing, good candidates. Taranjeet Singh Sandhu, Praneeth Kaur, good candidates were given. Ravneet Singh Bittu. BJP is winning 2 to 4 seats we are projecting in Punjab. AAP is collapsing in Punjab, 0 to 1. And there may be a situation, Shivani, that AAP may not have a single Lok Sabha MP this time. If it's collapsing in Delhi and collapsing as well in Punjab, that could mean that AAP will have no Lok Sabha MP in the parliament this time. That could be a big, big blow after the Kejriwal going to jail.
Yeah, I mean, they have nobody from Delhi in any case right now.
They had one in Punjab, but that Rinku has also switched
that
over to the
person
BJP.
also switched.
So
They got Rajya Sabha MPs and
Yes.
no Lok Sabha.
that was because Punjab they won, the record number of assembly seats. But
All right. I would want to quickly show you a few of the poll numbers, Aman, for the benefit of our viewers who are watching. So these are the numbers for all of the polls that we're tracking. Let me just see if I can. Yeah. So you see these numbers. So our this is the first one. This is the News 18 mega exit poll. 355 to 370 is the range as far as the NDA is concerned. And we just talked about 125 to 140. BJP alone 305 to 315. This is the number obviously we have for ourselves. The other big poll is Matriz. They are also giving roughly the same as the News 18 mega exit poll. 353 to 368, almost exactly the same as we have given. P Mark is giving 359, which is I think the median of that number only. So somewhere around 359, 360, which is also very similar, but they've given a little bit more to the India Alliance, a little bit less to the others in fray. So that could include parties like BRS, YSRCP,
BJD and all that.
BJD and others. Jan Ki Baat is giving 363 to 392.
that's the maximum so far.
That's, I think, the maximum so far, and the only closer one to the 400 par target. The opposition in that case comes down to 141 to 161. The others get almost completely wiped out. We've got D Dynamics, which is 371. I think it's a median of Jan Ki Baat, and 125 for the opposition. And you've got CNX, which is, this is giving 371 and 400 par.
Quite a gap, 40 seats.
30 seats gap.
30 seats mean range there.
Yeah. So they've kind of played safe here. So CNX is the only one that is actually officially touching the 400 par number, 109 to 139. For the opposition, if they get reduced to this number, it's going to be a problem for them if they get reduced to 110. And then, of course, 28 to 38 for the others. So this is the poll of polls that we're bringing to you as well. What is the sense that you get? That the BJP is comfortably winning a third term?
And
Alone,
winning it in a
and
big
with
way.
NDA, they could touch 350.
350, even last time they were 350, the NDA.
Yeah.
I think the bigger story would be, and of course this time they have Chandrababu Naidu with them, who's winning a considerable number of seats. So obviously the NDA number will be rising from 352 for sure. It may
But they're
reach
losing
360.
in Maharashtra.
They're
no?
losing in Maharashtra, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But BJP, I think the
Maharashtra and
BJP, Shivani, if BJP gets anything above 303,
They'll
it's
be
a
happy.
big victory, because after 10 years in government, after 10 years Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been there, this shows there's no anti-incumbency.
And
It's
they're
still not
continuing
there.
to increase their numbers.
Yes, from
for the
272
third
to
successive term.
303 to 315, as we are projecting, 310, 315. It's a huge thing. Obviously, worries for the BJP in certain states like Maharashtra and Bihar, but I think also silver lining that shows that the BJP will now push for themselves to be in the lead position both in Maharashtra and Bihar. So it may be the end of the road for Nitish Kumar. It may be end of the road for Eknath Shinde being the Chief Minister. Being maybe we will see BJP Chief
Well,
Minister.
Maharashtra elections are going to be held very soon.
very soon as well. Yeah, so we could
I
see.
think the writing could be on the wall for some of those alliance partners.
And BJP will be much more stricter when it comes to the assembly election seat distribution. I'm sure there was a big goof up to give 15 seats to Eknath
They
Shinde.
want the government back. They want the government. What should I say? Back, but in the wholesome manner in which they were supposed to get it last time around in Maharashtra.
Yes, Gujarat of course is a sweep like last time. MP they may lose one seat maybe from last time. Chhattisgarh is almost the same story. Assam is almost the same story. Delhi is almost the same story. Haryana there's a setback as we the reasons we discussed. Rajasthan there's a setback 18 to 23. That is also because of reasons the BJP is well aware of. You know, certain areas of Rajasthan where Sachin Pilot has been very popular. He's campaigned in those areas of Shekhawati. So there could be gains coming from there. There were certain seats like Churu. There were certain seats like
Barmer.
Jalore, where Ashok Gehlot's son is fighting. Congress may be picking up those seats this time. Himachal, Uttarakhand is a clean sweep. Odisha, of course, is a big thing for the BJP. If BJP is winning 13 to 15 seats on Odisha, this could also show that it will be interesting to see what happens in the assembly. We don't have those numbers yet.
Yeah, we don't have the assembly numbers.
What are the assembly numbers?
And Andhra also assembly numbers, isn't it? Those will be very.
Andhra, I'm very sure that Chandrababu Naidu will be winning part. I am personally, I'm sure, because I think there's a lot of anti-incumbency against Jagan, and BJP did a master stroke by allying with Chandrababu Naidu, both parties followed their
But
pride.
it's not just
came together.
the BJP's masterstroke in the sense that it doesn't just benefit the BJP, right? It benefits Chandrababu Naidu.
Absolutely,
as
both
well.
parties are there.
It's a
Yeah.
coalition.
Both parties
of-
followed their pride
Yeah.
to come together because it was a necessity. Otherwise, the YSRCP के खिलाफ जो anti-incumbency था वो भी split हो जाता दोनों parties में. They did a smart move for joining hands.
And
that's the
Chandrababu
reason.
Naidu also realized his fortunes didn't really go up; they plummeted after leaving the NDA. So
Yeah,
he's also smartly.
his fortunes have only risen after going to jail. The Jagan putting him in jail has proved for the resurrection of Mr. Chandrababu Naidu
Yeah.
in Andhra Pradesh. Kerala, Tamil Nadu, BJP will be thrilled if it wins 1 to 3 seats apiece in both
Yeah.
these states. Even one seat, I think, will be big for
They will
them.
be thrilled because this is more about making the inroads and the headlines.
It's not a matter of pride.
So the big catchment areas, as we've been discussing, and I was saying this to Pallavi also earlier, Aman, were Telangana, Odisha, and West Bengal for the BJP. I'm saying catchment areas where the BJP has been on the rise and wants to be on the rise, and they're kind of emerging as the single largest in all of those 3 states. So they kind of could be successful if these numbers hold. UP, they wanted to improve from 2019. They're set to improve. By how much is still the contention. And then, of course, some of the other southern states, it was never about really, making some big bang entry into Kerala or Tamil Nadu. We all knew it was going to be difficult. Winning even one seat there was going to be difficult. But the numbers suggest that they could manage that, or at least could come close as far as couple of the close fights are concerned. So actually, in terms of the strategy and the vision set for the BJP, this is not falling too short of what they would have tried to do.
Not really, not really. I think what the BJP aimed to do, obviously, bigger aim is 370 and 400 par, and that was, I think, the smart strategy. It also a psychological step to deflate the opposition, that there is no election at all. Obviously, the election, as Mr. Modi said in one interview, that it all became about stopping NDA from crossing 400. So people forgot that 272 is actually the majority mark for a party to form a government, and I think BJP is very comfortably forming the government. If our exit polls, and most of the exit polls are suggesting same, almost similar numbers for everybody. Somebody is giving a bit of a more, and somebody
almost everybody is touching 350 plus
and
for
BJP,
the NDA.
Yeah, and BJP, everybody is almost saying 300 plus. So
300 plus.
almost.
There are a couple of polls that are suggesting close to 370, and there is one poll that is giving the outer limit of 400 par. So we'll end our coverage on that note. A big thanks to Aman, Pallavi, Arunima, my colleagues, for joining us, and my colleague Akansha as well. But continue to be with CNN News 18 on all of our social media platforms. We're building up to June 4. So don't worry if it's a Sunday tomorrow. We're going to continue to get you more insights as far as the exit poll numbers are concerned. And of course, the build up to June 4 all through this weekend and next week as well. So thanks a lot for watching, and goodbye for now.